All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We have already gone over all of the news. It's going to start slowing down from here. So I'll tell you again, middle of July, it calms down. You got the big earnings next week. This was like bank and Netflix this week. It's going to chill out here. We get the consumer sentiment data. And the word on the street is it might have a reaction. I'm surprised. That's why I even labeled the video today blue hair data. I don't think anybody really cares about it as much, considering tariff risk is literally at 0. But yeah, like I'm saying, people are saying there might be a reaction. So we'll see 30 minutes after the bell. Other than that, it's going to be a normal Friday. And then we'll chill whether or not we hit more all-time highs or we hit those all-time highs and then you sell back off and then we come right back down. But either way, my friends, all-time highs or we got 30 seconds, all-time highs. I love you all, but it doesn't matter if you don't love yourself, bro. Smile. Game time. And happy Friday, bro. What a week. What a week, bro. Let's have an amazing day. I love it, bro. Amen. I speak it, dog. Speak it. Claim it. Oh, my goodness. Amen. So I'm going to watch TLN, SRPT, Netflix, and then UMP. And then we'll see. Round 1. Fight. There was some NVIDIA stuff like back and forth, and then Powell responded to the allegations too. So I don't know how that's going to play out. A lot of people focused on Waller comments in the morning. And then again, just eyes on metal materials and some of the other stuff we've been seeing. And then all the crypto plays, dude. I'm telling you, all the crypto plays in the next 270 days. I could almost tell you what headline is going to come out. So shout out to Watchlist. Amen. Apple. ANF. I want to see again UNP and that like little bio thing could get very interesting. We talked about that at the bell yesterday. But other than that, I do like lithium. And then China. Again, we talked China. You guys don't see it today? Even all week, bro. We were talking China from last week. But K-Web's up 2. Baba's up 3. JD and the rest of them are all doing very, very well. Netflix. Oh, I forgot Netflix. Ironically enough. Bro, I'm telling you, this earnings season, I was telling you, I don't have high hopes for it. Oh, yeah, here, let me show you. I forgot to show this on the watch list yesterday. So if you guys are interested in earnings, this is, I mean, I've been telling you, this earnings has been weird this year. I mean, we just had so much drama. You guys know I love earnings, right? Big fan on earnings, you guys. You know, and we have a lot of content. I mean, there was a time in the world where people used to get mind boggled by the fact that we played earnings. So I love it, but unfortunately, I think we have a lot of macro on the table that has made it very odd. And then you have a weird season, but now this is what you guys are going to run into next. Are you ready? So this is what I was trying to tell you, that this week was financials. Next week, you're going to get communications and then energy and then industrials. That's going to be a big portion of it. It's not till the end of August that you get the real good shit. So next week is going to be slowish, but now are you ready for the fun fact? I don't know if you guys could handle this. And because again, do you know what I just showed you? What was that chart that I just showed you? Here, before I move on, you have to tell me what that chart is. So the one I just showed you with financials, all that, what is that telling you? TLT coming down. Okay, Robinhood on the high. K-Web, again, watch China. I think it's going to be big. I just don't know when. Sectoral, yeah. You're close. You're in the neighborhood. It's pretty much, it's telling you what percentage of the industry is reporting. So half of the financials. And then you've probably heard it. You guys know those days. Like on July, the last week of July, the beginning of the week, I'm going to come out in the morning and I'm going to read a headline that says 37% of the S&P is reporting today. Does that sound familiar? I don't know if do you get it? You should understand. So think about that. You've heard that your whole life when it comes to earnings. So here's the problem. Are you ready? MLGO. I bet it's down 0.5%. So this is showing you the days when over 8% of the SPY returns, or 8% of the SPY has earnings. The reporting is actually less. This is going back, I think, in the last 5 years. And then the actual, the return, when you're not doing it, you pretty much, long story short, what this is showing you is that the days where a big portion of the S&P reports, it's usually a bigger move up to 0.9%, but then it's usually negative for stocks. Ta-da! So the days where you have a lot of earnings, you're going to get a bigger swing up to 1%. But then it's usually a downside effect. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to see here, factor in now all the industries. We're already watching. Even Netflix, bro, was killer. Netflix was such a good report, but I don't know if it should go up because it already was up 30% on the quarter. So there's going to be a lot of unique factors here, but what I'm trying to show you is that it's going to, next week slows down, then the last week we'll get everything, but then it might just head on a swivel. Don't think it's going to be, a bunch of names, it's going to be fun. No, statistically, it actually is worse. So, but then again, I am going to be eyeing opportunities, and we do need to keep our eyes out because one of these earnings will hit, and there will be a good one, but generally, I just said, a couple weeks ago, my hopes are not high. Iron. UVXY. Yeah, it's actually in the red, even though the Dow is red. Russell's killing it. SPY up a quarter, NASI up 0.3. There's Tessie. It's not 7 yet. It's only been 6 minutes. Oh, man. Lucid, they got money from Uber yesterday. SPY going lower. UAMY. Albemarle. I still like the China plays, big dog. I like Futu if it wasn't so expensive. Oh yeah, we have the data. I forgot. 20 minutes. So yeah, be on the lookout for that too. Do I like Weeble? No. I think Weeble is the worst. So, but I don't walk up to people and tell them that their girlfriend is cheating on them. You know what I'm saying? So I try to stay away from these conversations because a brokerage is a very intimate relationship. You've given them all of your money. You have given them all of your personal info. If you needed to buy anything major, you're going to have to ask them to give you your money. So it's a very intimate thing. It's a very, very intimate thing. And answering this question, I have angered more people than I've helped. So, just it's up to you, but I personally I flee from that. Yes, that is my code word. So I've told the Chad, because it'd be very uncharacteristic of me. If I ever ask you one day, or if I ever tell you to get Weeble, I am probably under duress, and I am being kidnapped. Anybody knows what data is coming out? Yes, I would love to help you with that, brother. And it gives us an opportunity to point people in the direction of the title. So yes, today's data, I call it the blue hair data. That is my joke, but it's Michigan consumer sentiment. Why do I call it blue hair data? Because they survey 220 people in Michigan, and it seems to be a very non-representative sample size. Hence, they are the biggest outlier. And in the beginning of the year, as everybody was worried about tariffs, this information caused, billions of dollars of sell-offs, and it really disrupted a lot of things, even though I personally believe it wasn't accurate at all. But that could be because of the representation. So I think it only represents a small portion. It used to provide a lot of accuracy for the market back in the day, but I've made a video about it showing it. The polarization, pretty much since Trump 1.0, the gap between consumer sentiment and actual data has widened. It used to have a much tighter spread. It used to be much, much more relatable to the economy, but that has not been the case since about 2016, 2017. And then after 2020, that has really ballooned. And it's not just blue hair. You could say the same thing about a Harley Davidson. It's political polarization, and the data is so polarized that it's so dumb. It's not even, so no hate to Republican or Democrat, but that the politics has ruined a once good set of data because it's so polarized and it doesn't really reflect what's going on in the economy. Otherwise, you would have 20% inflation by now, not zero. Or what, 2%? 0% tariff risk. My bad. LEU. CRISPR, yeah, they had a headline. We read it in the morning. I'm not recalling what it was, but I remember reading it. Invesco files to reclassify QQQ, sees fees falling 2 basis points. I don't like the 401k move. I don't. Because this is what I was telling you guys the other day. I mean, sadly, I've been in the market for a while, and what I've noticed is the young generation is coming in. It's kind of like, bro, do you know how many analysts are younger than me now? That's weird, because I was the young one. But yeah, so it's kind of it's gonna get interesting, and that's why I just hope they're safe. Above all else. But there is going to be money managers dabbling with crypto and people's retirements. And if you've heard all my other warnings, this just makes it a little bit more real. So yeah, I think it's be careful. I personally believe you should own your Bitcoin yourself. I would never pay anybody to buy Bitcoin for me. That's a wild concept in my mind. Unless you have tax strategy and other things. But even then, and then the fact now 401ks and Vanguards are going to be acquiring at a very high price. I think the situation is ripe for error. Not even error, but do you guys get what I'm saying? When I said it a lot yesterday, and I don't mean this negatively, you guys. I say this as my hair. I'm losing hair. I'm not the young guy on Wall Street anymore. I say this as like Hector Zeroni. I hope I could give you wisdom to carry up the mountain, little guy. You know what I'm saying? But what I've been telling people, stop tempting fate. Do you guys understand what that means? And I don't mean this I'm not trying to disguise doubt as caution. I want kill it, take everything. You should get, I don't believe in limits. I believe we should have all of it. So I'm not telling you to do anything limiting. I am just saying, do not test fate. Don't tempt fate. In a weird way of always, just don't play with fire, bro. That's all it is. And it's just, I think we are, we're ignoring cautions that in anywhere else we wouldn't ignore. So, and I don't say that so that you don't, I say that so you're smarter about it. So you do your diligence and account for the risk before you take your step. And if you have accounted for your risk, then my brother, you're good to go. Good luck. But that's why I'm just I don't know though. There's some people, they don't even want to do the diligence. They don't even want to take some of these steps, and they are holding opinions and investments that I'm like, dude, you are tempting fate, my brother. I am like 35. No, brother. You guys don't know anything about me. Respectfully. And I love you, but I am an old man. So, I'm glad though. I was younger at one point, but it's just been a long time. So that should be a reminder that time has flown by already. And some of you did know me when I was young, and I was younger, but we are a lot older now. It has been I've been on the internet well over a decade, and before I got on the internet talking about stocks, I was already invested for another decade. So it's old, bro. We all getting old, man. So don't, just listen to the wisdom and do not tempt fate, no matter where you are in life. And if you respect this, you will be good. I do. I think 35 is young. Yeah, 100%. I mean, even then, I think all the way up to unless you qualify for a reverse mortgage, I think you're in the game. And even then, if you qualify for a reverse, you still got like a good 10 or 20 in you. So I don't know. Oh yeah, 20 years, bro. I love it though. That's what I'm saying though. I love it. And we talked about it yesterday. And that's why, like, some of you, I appreciate you so much, because I see you in me. I see your passion for the market. There's some people who just want money. There's some people who whatever, but there's some people who know what this is and they love it though. And I know you guys got that passion. And then there's some of you, that's why I'm like, when I do these segments, I think you're missing the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we love this, bro. And I hope you are fully enamored by it. Otherwise, it's way more frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very frustrating thing if you didn't truly love it and get a long term. I know I just had AMD up there. I think the Genius Act already passed. I can't believe they passed the Clarity Act. I said it yesterday, bro. It's a giant stock loophole. It's crazy. Nobody knows this. Some people do. That's how I got put on game. But it's definitely not in the general public, where most people aren't. All the crypto people, I just don't think they understand it. And like I said, like every time I tell you guys that I bought Bitcoin at $300, I don't think people understand what I'm saying. Sure, it's a flex and it should let you know where I stand. But at the end of the day, it's because, like, a lot of times, like even yesterday, when I speak caution towards somebody's asset, they get really mad. And I know people, I remember them. I'm like, bro, some of you guys got in at 10, 12, 13, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70K. So great, you bought way higher than I did. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that when I was buying it at $300, making YouTube videos, telling the whole world and telling everybody, what was your reaction from $300 to $10,000? I rest my case. You weren't like, oh, that's sound money. Oh yeah, that's the future. No, a lot of the same people who get mad when you speak caution today, they were bashing Bitcoin from $300 to $10,000. Talking all this shit, all of this, all of that, and then they adopt it. I think half of them, they were pumping just to get their bag because they bought the 2018 high and then it dropped and then they needed it to come back up. So, a lot of it, that's why I'm like, there's a generation of Bitcoin guys who bought in extremely high, were haters at first towards it, but now if you try to speak anything of caution and safety, they think you're speaking blasphemy towards Bitcoin. And I'm like, come on, bro. So, like I'm saying, caution. And I think the Bitcoin and stock ecosystem, it will do a lot better if people are safer. I don't think people understand this. Your Bitcoin will do a lot better if you do not fucking pillage the younger generation. Do you understand? I don't know if they do. So caution and being wise and a plan and not FOMOing and telling people to buy all the time, there is a benefit. I don't know if they feel me. Dell is popping and the spy. fear and uncertainty kept you out. I know for a lot of people. But like what I'm trying to say in a weird way, just because it didn't help you in the beginning doesn't mean it won't help you now. You know, having a little uncertainty to plan around. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe in fear. Like, I don't believe in this shit, bro. So, like, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that if you prepare the right way, my brother, shoot. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you should plan. You should doubt your plan, doubt your effort, so that you could go forward in the right way. I am not telling you to turn back. I am not telling you to not do it. I'm saying, though, I need you to grill yourself and run scenarios before saying, yeah, I'm committing my whole life to this. So, yeah, it's, I think this is a big thing. And that's why, like, even with all this, like, a little bit of caution and planning so that you could forecast what is going to happen and how to protect yourself, that's a good thing. And I think we need more of that. And I think that's where we should start. So, amen, bro. The look back, I know, man, Robinhood should bring it. But that's what I see as democratizing finance. Getting people access to products that they couldn't have normally. That's what it is, bro. I don't know why. Robinhood, bro. I would love Robinhood if they could bring back lookbacks. Otherwise, nobody could get you a look back unless you need $50 to $250 million for anybody to make you a market. Oh yeah, Bibsy. I know, that's the scam. I was kind of subtly mentioning it, but that's the scam. So think about the rise of daily options. I figured it out. So these guys are trading dailies on this market, and then it's hedged through their OTC lookbacks. It's easy money, bro. That's it. That's why it's mind-blowing. Because then if the option hits, you're going to 10, 20, 30x. Who cares about the look back? And then if the option fails, the look back will protect you. You could even use it to balance out premium sales. So that's what's happening. That's why I'm saying you want to democratize it, level the playing field. Robinhood should bring look back options to the public. A bunch of vanillas. That blew my mind, bro. Man, China name's still going. SRPT, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten worked yet. And then 3M, you got a headline earlier. And then data comes out in what, 8 minutes? What is an ISDA? So have you never seen The Big Short? That's crazy. You'll Google it, but most people know what an ISDA is. Because of Selena Gomez. Big Red. Yeah, even NASDAQ, a couple names, Tesla popping. We just got a big flush here. Again, the data comes out in 8 minutes. That's weird. So you're getting a pretty big move right ahead of the data. No, it's not out yet. I don't know what it is. I don't even see like any major big tech move. It might be kind of broad. Tesla's ripping though on that. I don't know. That could have been nothing, bro. I don't see any headline. Trump is the person capable of making Syria stable. Apple, NEE. I don't think NVIDIA, this doesn't look major. None of these look on like big tech. And then China, bro, again. Asmil, maybe that one. Like I told you guys, I think the blue hair data is BS, but I was telling you this morning, I saw a couple of the reports and one of them hit the wire that was repeated to you guys, but it is people are thinking it might move. So people are thinking consumer sentiment is going to come in hotter, and I think they want to react to it. I don't think you should, but hey, I'm not the one who makes that decision. So just eyes peeled, 5 more minutes. Obviously, the data isn't representative of the economy, so I wouldn't form a idea on it, but it will move the market potentially. So that's what we're going to be on lookout for. Yeah, Baba, bro. Baba, China, those are all going straight up. You might, I think that China, if it's not a China trade deal, it's going to be China stimulus for China domestically. That's what I got on the lookout for. Is BS, but they wouldn't bring up the bill. No, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. You lost credibility. Not you, but consumer sentiment. Like I've said, I love the data. I know the whole entire history. I made a video. It was accurate data that was useful up until Trump 1.0. The polarization of politics has ruined the consumer sentiment objectively. I'm not the only one who agrees with this. So I'm just going to be very vocal about it, because to take 220 people and respond for whatever reason like that after it has now been detached from the economy is just ridiculous for whatever reason. So I agree with, I know what you're saying. And yeah, maybe they spent a lot and maybe sentiment did go up, but those people I can't trust it. That's it. Until we get a reversion to the mean, until the consumer sentiment actually gets representative and isn't biased through its sampling, it doesn't matter. And you'll know it, because like I'm telling you, I used to use this data. Everybody on Wall Street did. Consumer sentiment was accurate. It helped you out. It gave you information. Like I showed you on the first video, you could run the data through all of it, bro, and go through it, and you'll see it just like it wasn't recently. It's Trump 1.0. Ever since Trump, that started the polarization. And then the polarization, the max range, it maxed out over the last couple months. It's a ridiculous. I know stats, but I won't go this far. But I'm pretty sure it is statistically insignificant. That's how big of an error we're talking. Exactly. Yeah, boy who cried wolf type B. I agree. So like I'm saying, we're gonna watch it. Definitely, Wall Street. Like I'm saying, they want to move on it. And maybe if it's big enough or low enough, they will, but I would not factor any of this data into your macro analysis. Because if you did over the last couple of months, it fucked you up. Let's be real. I would use it as an outlier, and what do you do with outliers? You exclude them. It's not even that. So they had 9% on Liberation Day, but when inflation was actually at 9%, they said 5%. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, this isn't accurate at all. But then it's not even there. It starts from here. It starts from 2016. That's where this data really broke. But like I'm telling you, it got unreal after the last 4 or 5 years there. All right, 2 minutes. Get ready. The Mickey Mouse sentiment. And then bonds are catching an early bid off of it. And you had that weird candle. Yeah, the OpenAI agent thing looked pretty good. I was actually kind of impressed. If it could do what it looks like it could do, I was impressed. Tesla and China all ripping. How do they skew the numbers? It's not like they're doing it like fraudulently. It's just a small sample size of 200 people. So right away, if you know stats, what is the risk of a small or a large sample size? If you want accurate data, would you use a small or a large sample size? This is just math 101. You would use a large sample, not a small one. But that's okay. You could still get information. But now, what I'm saying is ever since 2016, it shows up on the data, Trump's personality, the Trump hatred, some like him, some don't. But and then the media and how we message, it's led this small group of people, they have now started to push their bias through it. So that's how it got skewed. And it was just like little by little, Democrats would always, their sentiment was always in favor of Democrats. And guess what? Same with Republicans. And then year after year, the Democrats got more polarized, the Republicans got more polarized, right? That's why during Biden, the Republicans were like, inflation's going to the moon. We're all fucked. And then the Democrats on the same survey were like, nah, what do you mean inflation? And that would just happen from 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You get what I'm saying? And year after year, the polarization would widen and widen and widen. And now it's to the point where it's like this data, all you're doing is playing Republican, Democrat, family feud. It has no anything. 3.6. So yeah, they're going to pump it now. It came in good. So literally 3.6 on the 5-year. The blue hairs they've dropped it. So now the blue hairs can agree that the risk is lowered. Because like I told you, UBS yesterday, 2 days ago, tariff risk is at 0. And then, 3.6 on the 5-year. Estimate was 4. I don't know where the 1 year's at. My thing needs to load. But yeah. 3.6 and then 4.4. The 1 year only dropped by 0.3. The 5-year dropped by 0.4. Sentiment's higher. Expectations are higher and current conditions. Solid. So, but again, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Even if it's good, I don't care about it. It's bullshit. We shouldn't be moving this much money on 220 people that have been proven to be absolutely incorrect. So yeah, it's good, but it doesn't mean anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Good or bad, what am I going to say? It doesn't factor into the economy. This is very old or just very biased. I'll pick your poison. Exactly. Soft data. Ta-da! Meta QS on the high. Oh, there's another one from Coin, and then I think MO. NEE and Energy. I mean, that was a big reaction up top. Bonds were there. We'll see. It could go up. I don't know. Let it do whatever, but it was good, but it does not mean any. Again, my macro is the same as when I woke up this morning. Essentially, and if you've been watching the watch list, you're pretty much a month ahead of all this data, because now you're getting what you already know. And again, just like when they said be afraid, we already knew we shouldn't have. So unfortunately, just a reaction, just an excuse to trade dailies. Maybe if you had a look back. Global headline inflation projected to decline at IMF, but slower pace. So even IMF lowered their inflation expectations. So double whammy. The blue hairs and the IMF. I don't know, maybe Meta's down on the OpenAI thing, but I have no idea. And then remember, though, they led the last couple days. And then things are going to slow down, you guys. And we're about to enter into the next week is going to be like industrials and shit. And then from there, we're going to get the next set. But it's just going to be slow. So some of these names that led, they may just meander for a week until their earnings week. So keep that in mind. Zeke, welcome. The narrative was buy stocks as an inflation hedge. Well, no, it depends. Because remember, that was a couple years ago when we had the first one. But then after a year and a half, if you were buying to hedge inflation, you got absolutely wrecked. That's the front run effect. So yes, if there is true inflation, buying certain things can help you. But if those things are already front ran, you're going to lose for the next 4 years. Why? Because you bought the front run on the inflation. So then when the inflation plays out, the stock won't go up or whatever asset was. It was just like the people who bought everything at highs during it, and they're like, oh, inflation, but then they lost. So be careful with that. That's why I've been trying to tell you guys with the bill, we're going to have an opportunity, but it's going to be different than last time. And you have to know how to maneuver, and you got to be wise about it, because it's not going to be, you learned from last time too. It's not going to play out the same, but then there's also mistakes to avoid. So just be careful. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why getting a good deal, paying attention to the pricing, your budget, diversification, that is why it's critical. Damn, UNH, the whole thing, and Humana. This looks big. China to strengthen supervision of electrical vehicle quality or car prices. Competitive regulator in EV sector. Check Tesla. Something about China regulating EV prices. And then UNH, big dump, bro. $4 and Humana is with it. That's what I was saying. This could be big. Yeah, Humana and UNH. Both of them. They're getting mollywopped. I don't see anything. I'm double checking now, but if you're going to play it or eyes on that. UNH already bouncing. Humana getting murdered. Humana down $12 now. That's big. That's triggered. I'm checking now. Humana's worse than UNH. So Humana's triggered it. That's 10. That's 5. Elevance. Remember, yesterday was bad. I don't see anything yet. Did you guys see anything here? No. Consumer sentiment. MEIP Pharma. Pause. No way. I don't know if that's linked. Nope. Yeah, that one's weird, bro. MEIP is Litecoin? Oh, no way. I'm like, Maze, are they buying somebody? But this might just be government shit, bro. Cato, constructive talks with U.S. You got positive Japan headline coming out now. U.S. Treasury Secretary attended G7 virtually. All right, and then all healthcare, China's still ripping. But yeah, UNH and Humana, I don't know what it is. I'm waiting. It's going to hit eventually, but... NTR. Humana going more. UNH is catching a candle. Again, Humana's tripling the loss. So I think UNH is sympathy, but it might just be all Humana. Elevance is down 7, though, too. They had bad earnings. That was yesterday. These are weird. And Cigna, but... Humana and Elevance are the one getting murdered. Circle up 8 on a few candles. Yeah, actually. Went break even to 8, literally, in 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Could be a sympathy with ELV, but that's a little too weird. Because Elevance's earnings were yesterday, so it shouldn't be, and then they're dumping 7, but they shouldn't be reacting right now. So maybe, I could be wrong, but that doesn't track for me. Yeah, today is a big OPEX. Consistency and discipline. Long term. Looking at income. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I saw your email too. We could go over it later if you want from last night. I like that property a little. I like your idea. I don't know. I like what you're doing, Brett. That's what I think. You keep hunting how you're hunting, bro, until we're gonna find a diamond for you. You get it, but you're doing good. I like it. You've looked a lot. You're not fucking being jumpy. You're running numbers on it. You're thinking, and then again, just remember though, any like guesses on price, we need to make sure it's real, right? So like, I think on there you were like, oh, I could get it at 90 or whatever. We have to make sure that's a realistic possibility, right? That's why establishing contact and all of that. But other than that, I think you're on the right track. I remember from a month ago, you looked at it. You've already sent me a couple. You didn't jump when it wasn't good, and I think you're doing good. So at this point, have you got the loan shit lined up or no? That might be the thing. Just make sure your loan is ready to go, because I think you're just gonna stumble across the right one, and you'll know it when you see it now, since you're putting in enough. I think you're seeing all these properties. You've said no a couple of times, and that's good. My only issue is your areas. That's the only thing that weirds me out with your hunt, is you are all over the place. You started in Indiana, then Pennsylvania, and then you've sent a lot of locations. So remember, first property, especially rental, think 30 miles, 50 miles max. Oh, they lost Medicare bonus payment. Per Bloomberg. So they got that one first. So it's just Humana. Elevance was already, now Humana's bouncing. So dud. You're looking near data center build-outs. Keep that as a factor. Like I'm saying, try to make it close by. Closer. That's all. You're going to be your first one. Just why? Because if anything happens, if you need to manage it to get experience off of it, you don't want it to be like, now I have properties that I have to fly to, but they weren't my first ones. You know, I started getting into properties way further away from me a lot later in my real estate journey. You know, you got to think about, you know, anything going wrong, and then even this is yours. It's going to be your house. So, you know, well, you're going to use a property manager, but you still want it close by. You see what I'm saying? Because it's your first one. And we don't know what's going to happen. You're going to learn through it all, but you don't want it to be too far, because then you're going to start like, oh, I got this. And then it's going to feel distant. I don't know how to describe it. You'll learn, you'll grow into it, but it is hard. The rule of thumb, you don't want to be too far on your first rental. I can't believe the consumer sentiment. So it did drop, but we're actually lower this time. And I don't know if everybody cared about it. Meta has dealt a blow to EU plan to regulate models, becoming first major tech company to decline signing the code of practice. About 1.5 hours away. How many miles? 1.5 isn't bad. I like that. So if that's 1.5 hours from you, that's doable. It might be more than 60 miles, but if you're like, what about traffic? How far would it take in god awful traffic? Do you know? Because you know I love the Lord, right? But do you know how many times I've been in traffic if I didn't have the Lord? Trying to, you know, many times I'll be like, why do I have to fucking do this? It's terrible. So you're gonna get that feeling one day. So 70 miles, all right, that's doable. Yeah, they lost bid to reverse Medicare bonus cuts. And that's been in coin, yeah. S-bet, bro. This thing's flashed a high ticker several times. Is it raining? I don't know. My windows are closed. I'm in the studio right now. They don't let me look outside until I'm done with all the stocks. Well, that's the thing. Next week will be vulnerable. That's why some of you guys are like, it's going to slow. It has to go down. But next week, it's going to be weird and slow with earnings. If there's a shock, we could go down, but that's it. And then Morgan Stanley, they're saying in the next, pretty much now by end of August, there is the potential for like a 5% shock. Pretty much if you run out of good news or run out of this, buy up every dip, and then things slow down, we get after earnings, and then you get one bad detail of trade or something develop now that tariff risk is at zero, and we went from being really scared to really euphoric, you're kind of vulnerable for a react. But it doesn't mean it'll kill the market, but, just little corrections here and there. So head on a swivel. Yeah, healthcare got murked because of Elevance yesterday, then it bled through today, and then a couple minutes ago, Humana just lost a bid for reversing Medicare bonus cuts. You're stressed, bro. You're good, dog. Very proud of you. You've done a lot of things, man. So, and I think you have a lot more to do. So get stressed later, all right? You have way more work to do, Mr. Fahar. You got a good calling on your life. And you've taken good steps, and you're literally dodging bullets. So, I don't think you get stressed right now. Save it for later. You have way more ahead of you, brother. Do not worry is the command. Yeah, you're dumping now. I think it is Meta. Meta mixed in. What was the other big tech? Was it Apple? No. Who was it? Was it Nvidia? Yeah, now Nvidia's starting to dump. Yeah, I think it's all tech. NASDAQ's first one to go negative, but SPY is right behind it. So they're about to go, but SPY's like 0.02. Okay, gap fill. Why is it oil? Oil climbed all day. Bitcoin. And equal weight's doing great. Oh, I didn't give you guys a checkup yet, huh? Okay, SPY going lower still. IMF seen improvement in global financial conditions. Update global forecast at end of July. Downside risk continue to dominate outlook. I'll get back to you. I remember. It's just remember what happened last week, bro. Everybody just playing around with it, man. And I've seen a lot of people. They're taking advice, but not really. And they're going and getting scammed. That's why I said we might have to change this real estate consultation stuff. So he's been doing it properly for the last few months. He's already connected with the co-agents and everything. So it's very easy if he's working it how we intended from the beginning. So I'll get back to you on there, but we got to work this out. And like I'm saying, I don't want to do emails during the day and afterwards. He sent his last night. I just remember it because from reading it. I remember yours too, actually, but it was from the day where I just kept getting spam with it, and I want to make sure people are. We gotta value this and be very serious about it. And unfortunately, I've seen the opposite. So I want to make some changes, but I'll get to that one. Don't worry. But at the end of the day, let me ask you this. Have you gotten a loan? Have you connected with a lender to make sure you know what to even shop for? So I could put you in touch with the agent and all of that, but that's what you should do. And what I think you should do is contact Lending Tips. Because when I tell people this, they literally make it a point to find the worst lender possible. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So, and then they're like, Josh, should I pay 12% closing costs? And I say, no, that's not appropriate. So hit up Lending Tips. Don't buy real estate on Instagram. He is way more active than I am. He will actually respond. But DM him or go to your local lender or whoever or a Rocket Mortgage and see what you qualify for. And then that way we know what we need to do to qualify or go from there. So we'll see. I don't know. You seem to get ignored on all of them. I think there might be something else at play. You're either going to spam or you violated something. Because that's weird, honestly. You know, I pretty much remember everything in a lot of those. And LT does respond. So if you are getting ignored, it's either you're getting sent to spam or you have violated rules in the past or have not shown seriousness. I don't know what it is, but that's weird. But you say that every time. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Auctions are good. You just got to find the right one and understand the financing. That's kind of the issue. Because some of them require only cash. Some you could do loans, and then the condition of the property and all that. Gap. Yo, Gap is ripping. Remember about a month or two ago, we made a play related to a potential buyout. So that could be it. That's popping good. It says only 7. That's 40 cents, bro. But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like for real. And I need to make changes though. Because people even saying the response and that. And if you've been around for 5 years and ain't done it, you know, I don't know what it is, but that's why I got to make some changes with it, and it's going to be more private than public. Because when we make it private, you guys take it seriously. That's the sad reality. And then you feel like you're getting something. Because if I give it to you for free, you're like, no, let me go to the guy who charges me for less quality. It's the wildest thing I've ever experienced. So, but yeah, we're going to have to go through that because I don't want to, I think some of you guys are capping that's with the deals. Even I think some of you have communicated in ways that I think it makes sense why, and every time you're making it seem like this and that, but no, we got to change the process. So it's my fault for the process that I established, so I'll take that responsibility, but no, I got some changes for y'all. 2.5 is the normal, but closing costs shouldn't be that high. And watch Gap. That one looks interesting, but that one was a dud last time. Second home, it's easy, but it's not. All of you got to realize when it comes to your second home, though, you're not getting low down. That's it. Minimum 10% if you're lucky. So it's going to be 15 to 20, 25% down. That's the downside. If you already own a home. Nobody likes to loan if you already have a home. You can claim income off of the thing, but it's not, what's it called? Like, it's still got, you have to put a lot of down. So that's where I think some of you should prepare. No matter what, if you already own a home, your next property is going to be 10% down. I would argue most likely 20. That's the problem. But then again, that's still not a bad deal if you get the right one. You could do even hard money, but it's still, that's just up to you and what you're feeling. What the fuck? Why do they make this so hard? Objects to resumption of NVIDIA sentiments. You bought it. Well, that's it. I'll tell you now, though. Even if you find a property that they bought a couple years ago and they're trying to pump it, you need to still comp it. Because if it's a deal still. Unfortunately. I hate that too. Because I've seen a lot of people like that, but then I've also been seeing houses that are higher than 2020 or when they just bought it, but I'm like, it's still comping out ridiculously low. So, or like high in the sense that it could still work. So that's not the ultimate deal breaker, but that is a warning sign. So I'm glad you noticed it. All right, man, we're still just dumping, bro. Japan MOF, trade uncertainty are key terms in G20 communicate. Is it a pullback? I would say so, but you did get good data, and then IMF. But remember, we're still at 0.06, you guys. So it's going to be summer. It's going to be like this next week, too. And then we have advanced, like, what, 100 points on the week or something? So nothing did happen. It could get bigger, but at the end of the day, up until probably end of next week with the earnings, we're going to either meander or play this kind of game. And then it's summer. Very slow. Renting and then getting FHA. That'll work, I think. Well, you can if you want to trade or don't trade next week, or you could just front run earnings. But then if you're wrong on the front run, you're going to get washed right before. So that's another way to do it. Summer chill vibes. I know, bro. I like it, but then I'm mad. I'm supposed to have a farm, bro. So I told everybody yesterday, are you guys going to get mad at me if we pivot to Indiana? Are you guys going to, like, I thought I was going to be in LA. I thought I was going to play for the Lakers, but they might need me on the Pacers. That's closer? Oh, shit. Eli Lilly popping and Abbott. I put up Abbott and then I switched it, but now I'm seeing another drug company and PG and McKesson. Shout out Caitlin Clark. What's happening? I don't know, but KD, you sketched me out now. Because I looked up, I went on my email, I'm like, that shouldn't have happened. And you've said we've ignored you so many times. So I'm going to ask lending tips too. I'm going to look. But you have never emailed me, ever. You've signed up since 2021. You've commented in that, but you've said you have been ignored over 10 to 15 times throughout your chat facts. So I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. It gives people the wrong message. Because like I'm telling you, that's not normal. So yeah, I'm not going to involve with engage until we resolve that. Bronny put up 19 points last night in what? NJB? What do you mean? Where the fuck does Bronny even play? What did he do? Oh, was that on his My Player? Ask for more. Well, I'm gonna verify that and get to the bottom of it. But you've also said I've ignored your messages too, and like I just looked. So I see your sign up from 2021. I see your YouTube comments. Nothing else. And then your chat facts has said I've ignored you several times. So, and I just don't think that's true. So we'll figure it out, and I'll get back to you after that. But till then, I'm probably gonna ignore everything. So let me ask lending tips and find out, because I want to help people and I don't like that, and I want to make my system work, and I'm getting discouraged when I see people trying to get helped out and then I watch them get in trouble. So that's why I need to make good changes. Yeah, maybe it is. So like I said, let me get to the bottom of it, but until I figure it out, I'm sketched out. He's in Summer League. I want to go. Isn't it in Vegas? You sent the email? Oh, okay. So you emailed him. Because in the first, I said DM him on Instagram, and I said the Instagram, and you said, I did that, I didn't get a response. And then 5 other chats said, I got a response in 10 hours. But it's over now. Please, I don't want to talk about this anymore. You dropped the ball already. We'll figure it out on Monday. Thank you. Did you go at the win? No. Yeah, bro, I want to go. I was in the Summer League in Vegas one time, bro. It was dope. I got to see a bunch of people, and it was like, oh, I didn't get to meet any NBA. I met more rappers than I met NBA players. But, oh, dude, I like NBA players. I like the NBA. ARBK. Is Gap going? I'd say keep that one on watch. I know the terms of it are weird. I think it's all rumor. I don't even think there's anything on it now. JP Morgan extends research to private firms, starting with OpenAI. give you a quick question for the competition? Are you sure? Are you here right now, Humble? Like, can you hear my voice? And then spy a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Yo, you're here? Okay, you hear me? All right, well, I want to ask you a question and give you like a quiz, but I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you a question just for you, and then a bunch of people who it doesn't relate to are going to take it upon themselves to answer it for you. And doesn't matter if I tell you this, doesn't matter if I tell them not to do it. Even if I ban them, they will still do it. So instead of complaining, I'm just going to work around it, okay? So here's how it works. You have to answer this question before one of those guys answers it before you, because I can't stop them. You see what I'm saying? That's the downside. So if they answer it before you, even though you're competing against Christian, you will still lose, okay? So the question is, what is a look back option? Do 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 do. That is the correct answer. But again, look at the talent pool. They beat you, bro. It's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. You got the answer. You were late. I don't know if you really knew it. So let me ask you this. What was the play of the day from yesterday? Did I give a play on yesterday's watch list? If I did, what was it? Amen. Amen. So they beat you, bro. It's okay. I won't hold it against you. And yeah, but then look at you guys are like, damn, the Chad's fast. You guys don't realize this is the reality? You don't see why I'm trying to fucking make you guys work harder? Because all you guys trying to half-ass lazy it, there is literally 1,000 motherfuckers who are jumping on it right before you. You don't get it? I'm not trying to hold you back. I'm trying to get you up to that level. That's what you guys got to start realizing. You don't need to be the best in the world. You just got to be faster than the next guy. You don't get it? Welcome to the stock market. So you see it, bro. I ask you, these guys, I already know the answer. They already know. They're ready, prepared. There's a difference in knowing and prepared. Even then, Christian, you're like, I won't lie. I don't know. I could search it up. That's the beauty. You don't need to do any extra work. If you lock in, watch the watch list, pay attention, you don't need to do anything extra. Even if you just watch the watch list, that's it. It was there. It's all there. It's the same thing. That's why I said even the other day, you told me you watched all these videos, did all this, but then you didn't know what was right in front of you. So it doesn't matter. You don't need, that's the problem. Everybody, there's so much info, but you could spend time and feel like you're working and doing all this, but you got to get right to the goal, baby. And it's right there. Usually it's the difference between the student who takes pleasure in the work while doing it versus preparing at the last second to try to get something. And it shows, and you'll see it. And when it comes down to the money in the market, it is a world's difference. So I won't hold those questions against any of y'all, but they asked me. So let's go, baby. 1 hour. It's about 20 minutes. It's 20 to 30 minutes, realistically. The last 30 minutes, we're usually just shooting the shit, talking, when I do it live. So, yeah, it's not that crazy. That's what I'm saying. And then again, you wake up early. We are covering every headline from all around the world. But even by the morning, you get a watch list in the morning segment, you are going to be more informed than, I would say, 90% of the market. Easily. Why? Because you see it. And every time people even ask, wake up, what happened to this? It was already, Josh AI told you it. FX MSTR is jumping. And yeah, we've been one way down. But then again, this, I think by middle of the day, this might change. It's either big dump all day or just remember expiration day. We might just oscillate in big ranges. How do we have 6,000 in here but 5,000 likes? Do we? It says we have 5.5. But yeah, it's because there's a lot of haters. And now you're not supposed to, you guys didn't even like the video when I told you to. And then I don't even ask for it now. But now we have members only. And like I said, you know how many people told me they were going to stop watching if I voted for Trump? How many people told me all of this stuff? This is just a bad energy, bro. A lot of haters watch. And it's okay. I love y'all. You guys, Jesus loves you too. You're forgiven. You're just angry at yourself. That's why. Amen. So don't be bitter. Live your life. Be happy where you want to be. That's good. You're going to get me like 100 likes though off of that maybe. But we'll see. But it doesn't matter anymore. Unfortunately. You know, there was a time all I asked for was a like. But that was a lot. And it says back on the market, no fault to the seller. It's saying that there wasn't anything wrong with the property. The buyer backed out. So then that way it doesn't, because you don't want, remember when I told you, like, when you list the property and if it sits and you fuck up the listing and it just sits there, nobody likes that history. Or if it goes like pending and then falls out, people are like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Everyone's like, nah, it could be something else. So it just doesn't look good. Low ticker is not stopping, bro. It's crazy that it's less than 0.1% on SPY and NASI, but do you guys notice Dow and Russell got knocked? They were up. They were up like 0.5%. Marvel, Datadog. What made you to look back? I explained it on the video. So just go watch yesterday's video, brother. Vistra, we've seen that one every day. Did the farm fall? I'm gonna find out in a couple of hours. So we're either gonna have to back out and then I'm fucked, or we have to get another delay. It's just getting weird now. Because I think they're fucking with me and they think I'm fucking with them. Like, it's literally like a movie where it's like a standoff right now. And now we both don't trust each other. We went from good friends to like, they think I'm wholesaling it now. And then I think they're trying to do some hoe shit. Because I'm like, what do you mean, bro? And then like some of the items and like, it's just getting out of hand. So that's why I said we might, maybe I have a pivot already to go, but we'll see. It's just with everybody, bro. It's turning into a shoot. And then LT pissed off one of the lenders. But yeah, but rightfully so. I think rightfully so. LT was like, you guys are being ridiculous. And he got mad. Well, that's what I am. I talked to him last night. Or like afternoon, but I'm gonna do it. I'll find out in a couple hours. We have one more request. We have the final thing. We're either putting in a final delay or we're walking away. I will get my deposit back though. So that's good. I won't lose any money, but I sold the long term, which sucks. My deposit was like 30 grand. It was a lot. Because I was serious. They knew I was serious. That's why it's funny how it's playing out now. But nah, God is good. Don't worry. I mean, if I don't end up buying a property, I will just put it right back in. It does teach you I mean, it's funny because now this is like I didn't want this to be the lesson. But in a weird way, this is the lesson of being stuck in the middle, dude. This is why you do not want to sell and not have the property. So it's terrible. How common? This would be different if it wasn't this type of property. Like I told you, I've never owned a property like this, and it's many lots, some with structure, some without, and it's huge size. So this is causing a lot of difficulties with the lenders. That's why, like, if this was a normal house, bro, like a residential lot, like this isn't. None of this would happen. None of this would ever occur. A residential loan, like in a neighborhood, bro, like this is easy. You know, a quarter of an acre lot with 0.3, that's easy shit. But this is just very unique. Which I don't like, because now it goes to show it might be a little hard to sell, because it's hard to acquire. That's why I found the way to acquire it, bundle it all under one APN, and everything is free. That works, and we agreed on that. But now the lenders are still, dude, I've appraised this property twice already, and the lender is just being a jackass. But then I have they're all jackasses. They all want a lot because of the land, and that's the part, that is the sticking point. On an appraisal today. How long did it take? They're so slow in Cali. Homeboy, like, I'll be there Tuesday. He gets there at like Tuesday night, and then I'm like, oh, Wednesday, and then I'm like, dude, you fucking, oh my goodness. Severed the land. Well, that's the thing. We could do all of this stuff, but We need more time now. It's been a month, you guys. It's been a month of escrow. We already took one delay, and now that's why they think I'm fucking with them, and that's why I think they're fucking with me. Because I'm like, why didn't you? I was like, you guys should have told us it was nobody wanted this fucking land like this. Or like that, you guys, because it's like all borderline. It's so weird. Seller ordered it yesterday. Signed contract on Tuesday. Nice. Oh, you did that early. No, the lenders are just trying to account for a risk that isn't there. That's all. They're trying to get more money up front. They're trying to get more when it's not necessary. They're just trying to get more up front. And that I don't agree with. It's not worth it. Because like I'm saying, the land isn't, the land is useless. You don't need to value it. You don't need a, what do you mean I'm going to pay you 50 grand for it? They want 50% down for every plot. Like, you're dumb. It's not real. It's just the value as one property will stand. So yeah, they were motivated. That's why. But that's why with all these delays, it's just getting weird. Why did we tank on good data? I mean, it wasn't too big considering we were gapped. That was what makes it bigger. But man, this has been the vibe. It's a big expiration day, but summer, think about it. Every dip has ended higher. So we've done several of these moves. As long as it's not material or major, literally, even look at the last 2 days. So I'm just going to keep doing that. %. Land. I know it's very typical, but we don't need to value the land. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying leave the land out of the deal. And that's what we did. But now, and then I got a good appraisal that worked, and then I don't know why we're having any issues. So they're just being annoying. But then now it's just like, I don't have as much leverage, but I could still get my deposit back. So we'll see. Space on the high. Humana getting reiterated by Reuters. That was weird. I didn't see it on the other ones. But yeah, that was the headline. And then I got nothing on Gap. I had that up on a scanner. Nothing came up. No, now the Humana went up. And Centene. No, these people, I don't know them as much. I think that's why. So I couldn't use my normal lender. I should have just not fucking used the lender. Now that's my only fucking regret now. I'm like, this is so annoying, bro. But God is good. You guys know that? Either way, bro, we gonna bob and weave. You know that? We in a sticky situation. I was born in a sticky situation, son. You know what I'm saying? So God is good, bro. Yeah, everybody's fucked from the deal for now, because they still need to move and sell it too. That's why it's terrible. Is it time? I just remember expiration day, because that's what I don't know. I'm getting flashbacks. I feel like just the arbitrage, big, like, because it's not big yet. But if you count the gain in the morning, it's kind of big. And then if we flip right back up, you can move another 0.5% and still be at break even. So, I don't know. I'm kind of keeping my... But then I remember one of them this year. One of them this year was just down and then straight down the second half of the day. So, like, if second half, if we don't bounce our last hour, but if it goes like another 1% or 0.5%, then it just might be straight down. But again, there's nothing really causing this, and whatever happens today, I don't think it's going to dictate Monday. Monday will be dictated by whatever Donald Trump does over the weekend. So actually, it's a great point right now to mention, because remember what I came with last week? So last Sunday's watch list, last Sunday or this Sunday, I came out and I said something, right? What was it? I said something about the weekend in Wall Street. It's a very common theme. And yeah, what was it? Let's see. Christian or humble, you could answer this. I don't think they're gonna get it. I'm just saying. What was it? Pop quiz, mother. Sunday night watch list. We said something about the weekend in Wall Street. Here, I got you. Results of your daily double. We were talking about a lot of people on Wall Street over the weekend. They were getting pissed at Trump, not because he's Trump, but for other reasons, but because they were saying how, like, during the week, and it was a big week with the reciprocal and all of that, but during the week every single headline is useless. And then over the weekend, Donald Trump issues the strong letters to the countries that matter. So that's kind of been the problem in the last short term, is that some people on Wall Street are kind of expecting that the meat of the news is going to come out over the weekend. It's not going to happen intraday, intra-week. Think about it. This week, they got earnings, you hit a new high, you got some developments, but not anything crazy. So what happens if, and then Trump's like, China deal, or we're tariffing more China. If he announces something big over the weekend, you just wasted your whole week. And then the real news came out, oh wow, you couldn't react. And then on Monday we do it. So yeah, that's the other thing you got to think about. That's what I'm saying. Whatever happens right now, like I don't care if we go up or down. I don't think it's whatever happens on Monday. Chances are 50% probably the weekend will probably dictate what happens. So I don't know. I think it's a coin toss. Well, drop bad, important news. That's the thing. Just waiting. You could call good or bad. I'll leave that up to you. But just waiting. Importance. Like the stuff, that market moving material, that comes out on the weekend. The fluff comes out on the weekday. That's essentially been the criticism. I mean, you're hitting a low. Well, keep the powder dry, but more so, like your mind. I'm worried about your mind. I don't know if you guys realize, I'm just trying to teach you how to think. Whatever you do after that, be wise, but you just got to think where it's like, that's why I'm not panicking right now. That's why whether we go up or down, I don't really think it matters as much, and unless it gets really big or there's news, but because on the weekend and Monday, there's a better chance that you have more info that could either make things better or worse. So keep that. Yeah, bonds are dying all of a sudden. China foreign minister summons Philippine ambassador to China. It was 5 minutes ago. I don't know what that is. Bonds are dying, yeah. Good morning, Danny. All right, what is it? Let me get you a checkup again. It seems so much worse. Remember, you had way more names green in the morning. So Dow Jones, 7 green, 23 in the red. NASDAQ, 63 green, 37 in the red. That's crazy. And then SPY, 267 green, 232 red. So Dow is kind of clapped. That was really killing it in the morning. But then NASDAQ has 70 names green, bro. So NASDAQ's barely down, and there's a lot doing good. AMD, NVIDIA, SMCI on the low. They're all flushing right now. I already have AMD. I thought that was NVIDIA. Mortal Kombat. You've been summoned. CYCC. Pharma. A lot of these pharma names been getting Bitcoin. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Broke over 62. Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day. Remember yesterday? I was like, listen, man, you guys already know what's going to happen. Or you're going to you're either going to hit 6299 and then sell off for like 3 days, or we're just going to rip through 6300. And then now we did 6315, and then we come back down. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is material. I just think we're moving, and eventually it's going to slow down once we run out of catalyst, but this is just movement at this crazy level. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We got push-ups in 30. I will BRB. God bless America. Woo! Come on, propaganda. Nice.
face of all of this weakness in the first half, we did have some currency watchers say, watch the channel, right? Watch the trend. And I know you're keeping an eye on how we're bouncing off of some trend lines.
Yeah, there's a really long-term trend line that intersects right where we are today in the dollar. And you know, look, there are a few weird things going on here, and so you want to be mindful of what's happening. Higher rates, as an example, with lower yields. It's happening in the U.S. It's happening in Japan. Those are pretty unusual circumstances, and certainly raise some eyebrows. But when we look at where sentiment is right now, when we look at what's happening with the tariffs, we do think that there's an opportunity for some relief, that there's a lot of bears in the dollar right here. And so tactically, even though I don't think it changes trend, I think we'll get a pretty nice relief rally out of the dollar here over the next, call it 6 to 8 weeks. And that's the point I'd start looking at, again, re-engaging in maybe a short dollar position. But right here, it feels like a very crowded trade on support, and that's not where we want to press our luck.
Any interesting turns in some of the underperforming places of the market, whether it's, I don't know, energy or healthcare stocks, the Russell 2000, that just haven't done what the major averages, what the NASDAQ has done?
You know, you're one person I hate to disappoint, Sarah, but I'm going to have to disappoint you. There's not a lot going out there. Healthcare does not look great. Energy, you know, some of the refiners, in fairness, have started to improve. Marathon, Valero, that we're seeing some improvement there, but it's not wholesale enough for us to get interested in. And really, I mean, when we look at healthcare, we've never seen risk-adjusted returns in healthcare as bad as they've been in the entirety of our data, and that goes back 70 years looking at a risk-adjusted basis. So anybody who's still left in healthcare really is going to have the battle scars, you know, to show for it as we go forward. But we still see bad trends and bad charts continuing to deteriorate. Look at Elevance yesterday. I mean, that was a bad chart going into yesterday, and it just got worse. And so we're just going to wait for the knife to hit the floor, and then we'll look to pick them up, but there's nothing yet.
Yeah.
You sound like my husband. He also doesn't want to disappoint me. Go ahead.
I was like, where are we going? Where are we going with that?
I'm the one person he doesn't want to disappoint. Jeff DeGraff. Thank you.
Jeff, finally, a lot of non-profitable tech baskets up 65% from the lows, going back, you know, highest in a couple of years. Do you have a problem with, on the Qs at least, analogs to the late 90s?
Look, I think there's some similarities. It's funny you say that because last night I actually chat GPT'd, show me all the, you know, the growth investors who blew up, you know, over the centuries. And that goes all the way back to the Manhattan Fund, right, with Gerald Sy back in the late 1960s, and gave me a full list. And I was actually thinking about doing some work around that to see what the similarities are. And believe me, there will be similarities to that. But what we're seeing right now is enough strength in these names, particularly kind of the marquee names, are just breaking out of some of these long-term bases that I think they're in really good shape. What I worry about, Carl, are things that are in clear downtrends where the 50-day is still below the 200-day. They've had big moves to the upside. Again, that's beta. And now I think they're going to run into problems. If they're making new highs, if their relative performances is confirming, I think you can stick with those. We'll watch. If those start to deteriorate, then that's a bigger, more wholesale problem. But at the margin, I don't think that's an issue yet.
All right. That's a good playbook, a good roadmap for at least the next 12 weeks, and we'll check in with you, obviously, before then. Thanks so much, Jeff. Have a good weekend.
Good to see you. You too. Thank you.
Let's turn now to the deal news of the day. That is Chevron closing its $53 billion acquisition of Hess.
Oh, bro, you all saw it, the CEO thing? That was crazy. But did you guys, I'm going to bring up the wildest point. So you saw the guy at the Coldplay concert? The CEO cheating with his head of HR? You saw that, right? I know everybody did. So here's the funny part. Bro, have you seen his wife? Dog. Y'all just getting stupider and stupider. You know that? Y'all are just, I don't know, all this AI has made y'all dumb as hell. Y'all know that? You stupid mother effers. Dog, his wife is like, dog. Bro, even my girl was so confused, bro. I felt bad because even my girl was like, what? What the fuck? Men will choose a way worse version? Yo, I told baby girl, I said, baby girl, you ain't got to worry about, I'm not I would never do that. Oh, man. Dog, no, bro. I don't know, man. I'm sure maybe his wife bullied him, but I don't know, bro. I would not risk it all with HR. The HR qualified for a reverse mortgage, bro. I don't know. Yeah, that was funny. Everybody was talking about that. But now some of you are saying the wife picture is fake. I saw it. I asked my girl. We couldn't tell, but I'm assuming that was her. So if that wasn't her, then I'm wrong. But there's like a picture circulating of her, and like, yeah, dude, like his wife is beautiful. She's not like, and she looks like she's 20 years younger than the other girl, and like it's just not. It's a world's difference, bro. It's actually like, what? Oh, they debunked it? Okay, then never mind. He's still an idiot, but that was... You know, I don't think it justifies anything, but I think it just made him look even dumber. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. It is what is on the inside that matters. But let me remind you, I don't think you cheat because of the inside. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's like, oh my gosh, HR is so beautiful on the inside. I have this urge to connect with my coworker. You think that's what got him into infidelity? Do you think that maybe he got mentally abused at home and was like, fuck, I need to get out of this shit? That's another topic, but I don't think it was on the inside. I think that was a different stage we had that conversation. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like our horoscopes match. She understands me. I don't think that's what happened. Oh, the page! Oh, look at that. Happy Friday. That's what I'm talking about. Or not. And you know, this is a good time to remind you guys. I hope you never cheat on the peach. That's all. That's all, man. Just don't cheat on your consistency. I'm just saying, bro. You know, in the topic, the Coldplay, and then Bradley Frizzle and Peach Nation. It's a good reminder, man. You better not negotiate with that consistency. You know what I'm saying, bro? I got a great example for you. Oh, yeah. What up, baby? How you living, Bradley Frizzle? Bradley Frizzle, we're delaying your peach tree. We ran into some hiccups. But don't worry. It's still on the mission, but... Oh, I still hope you're doing good. Mm-hmm. Oil dye was up. Maybe his wife burns him with cigarettes and makes him wear dresses? What the? Dude, we're talking about the CEO, Andy Byron, not LeBron James. That's weird he brought that up. I'm just kidding, LeBron. You're the best. You're the GOAT. I respect your basketball performance. LeBron, I'll give you all of my money. If you go on in your next basketball game, you say, shout out Winnie the Pooh. I'll give you all of my money, and I will do whatever you want. All you have to do is go up on TV and say, shout out Winnie the Pooh. I bet you won't. I love you, bro. You're still the great. You are. You know that with a basketball, bro. I pray I could be as mobile as you at that age. You're amazing, LeBron. On the court. On the court. All right, yeah. So here. This, I don't think this is her. But that was the picture going around. So I don't think it was her. Like, that's why I was like, dude, homeboy's crazy. That and Tim. This is closer to what my girlfriend looks like. Not a blonde girl, okay? Because every time Tim be making a grok with my girlfriend in it, he always put a white blonde girl with blue eyes. I'm like, Tim, she speak German, but it's not like that, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's not. No, but that's not her. That's why I was like, this dude is crazy. Yeah, Tim's like, Sweden, Swiss, or blonde. Every time. He's like, yeah, she blue eyes, 6 feet tall. What the fuck, Tim? No, Tim, man. But I never told him, so at least I could show him now. That was a good opportunity. Two birds. You assume my girlfriend was blonde hair. You guys don't know me that well. Ask any OG in the chat. I love them Asian girls, bro. I don't know, man. I think it's the rich tech guy in me. I don't know why, but my whole life, dog. You have no idea. So yeah, bro. I don't think y'all tripping, dog. I don't think you really... Ask any of the OGs, bro. The first, like, 3 girls I ever had on as all Asian girls, bro. I do, if they're the hot Asian girls. I don't know. Why do you think I go to Jollibee, bro? What? What do you mean earmuff? She's Asian! You didn't know I was under those. Not like, you have to see my girl. It's different. My girl, like, no, not even. I was gonna say she looked like Suki from Fast and the Furious, but it's not like, she's half Asian, half Swiss. She was born in Switzerland, but she's like, yeah, she's Asian, but like not fully Asian. But then she's not like, she don't look Swiss, but then she don't look Asian, and then then they make fun of her. And I said, come here, I love you, and there you go, and we're happy. I think half or a quarter, I don't know. You're using the L word already? I like you, man. I like you. I've been dating this girl for a really long time. Everyone's like, get married. Have a child, 10 of them now, Joshua. Right now, the Lord commands you, Joshua. This guy's like, you've known her for 5 years and you say you love her? Oh, damn, bro. This is getting serious. He won't even say love. He said the L word. You said the L word. Oh, my God. Woo. That's good, though. Oil dumping is great. I'm telling you, it was weird when it was climbing earlier. So that might lead to your little rebound now. Because remember earlier, I was like, why the fuck is oil up? And now oil just took a knife, $1. Meanwhile, you're starting to curl up and VWAP has dropped considerably. And silver. Yeah, silver. Go look at silver and overlay with NVIDIA. I am. You guys, I'm gonna have a bunch of kids. You don't know that? Bro, I'm trying to buy a farm. I'm just gonna adopt every Chad who wants to be adopted. You guys can clear rocks, right? How many you say, Josh, be my dad? I heard that many times over the years. So, I'm just saying, I don't know. Y'all keep telling me to have kids. Have a house, God willing. Tell me how it goes. I would love to know. If you do it, bro, let me know the process. Because I do think I will. I will actually probably one day. Apparently, that's what I told my mom when I was little. You're gonna be 60 with kids instead of your 30s. Yeah, but whatever God's will for me, I accept. I don't stress about that, man. And I don't think you should too. And if you were called to be a father and you have been a good father, God bless you. And even a mother and all of it. And everybody has their calling. And you live in it, and you live in it in peace, So I know where my calling. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know everything. But I know it's all relying on the Lord Jesus Christ. So it's not that I know what's going to happen, but I know I'm in his hands. So if he wants me to have kids at 30, 40, 50, 60, a lot or a little, that's what he wanted in a way. And I'm sure it was meant to be for his purpose. So I don't view any delays or going forward as anything but from God. You know what I'm saying? So... Oh, I'm not afraid of it at all. I have goals. I have a different goal. So you have goals, and everybody does. But like I'm saying, I think some of you were called to be fathers, and I love it. I respect it highly. But at the same time, everybody at different times and different ages and different things. And if you have that calling in your life, you need to live up to it. So, ironically, bro, I love women. I really do. But I've never been called to be a father or have kids yet, by accident or by intent. So I'll take it as it is. And at the end of the day, what's meant to be. And, I have my calling. And I know where I am meant to go. And if the kids arrive, the kids arrive. But God's timing is what I truly have faith in. Not man, not a person, not society, not culture, not an expectation. My God, the Lord Jesus Christ. So, and his plan is beautiful. So, amen. Don't pull any Abraham stuff. What do you mean? Oh, there's a lot when it comes to Abraham, but yeah. Do adopt? You just gotta go through I don't know. Isn't it like a real hard review process? You have a Hamas headline, and then Scheinbach eyeing increase of tomatoes to Asia. God's plan. Dude, I'm a big fan. I have a good philo too, man. We'll talk about it. It's not really related to that, but I don't know. I think you guys hear it. I'm telling you, man, and let it be known, man. God is first, and God be the glory, and God be the credit. I'm not doing anything. I had this talk yesterday with somebody. I'm just like, dude, I can't explain this, you guys. I am not doing anything. do you understand? I have accomplished a lot in the last 7 months, but I genuinely am not. I don't know what the fuck I am doing. I am not. Like, I'm telling you, bro, it's like legitimately, God be the glory, bro. I mean that so genuinely, because I can't even put it into words. You know, it's just straight up, and that's why God is first, and he gets the credit. And so, I mean, I've already seen enough in my life, both before this and not, but I'm trusting that all day. All day, baby. All day. There's no such thing as fear or limitation. I truly believe that. In God, in the Lord Jesus Christ only. So you remain in the vine, and he will remain in you. Well, no, like, I can't explain. Like, I'm being dead serious, bro. There are certain things that, like, I could tell you in advance, and I don't know. I see a clearer picture, and I've been able to utilize it. But, like, I don't know where. I don't think these ideas are mine, bro. I don't know where the fuck I'm coming up with this shit, and, like, accurately. So, you know, enjoy it while it lasts. But in the meantime, God, and I don't take any credit. I take zero credit at all. I'm enjoying the ride, bro. I hope you do too. No, dude, it's nothing. It's no sense. It's Jesus. I laugh at this because I'm like, bro, this is the conversation I've been having. I say this and people will tell me, and I'm like, no, bro, I know exactly what it is. And I'll tell you what I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. I know the source, but I can't explain it. It's so weird. It is kind of like autopilot. It's like driving your Tesla the first time. But bigger, I don't know, because that Tesla, I do remember that. I started making videos and shit, bro. First time I ever got in a Tesla autopilot, dude, that was life-changing. Not really, it didn't change my life, but it tripped me out. The floor, I think around 250 to 220. I think that's what I said last time, and then from there you'll probably get more details, but I'm putting a clock on it, 2026 or mid 2026. We kind of need the time, not necessarily the other stuff, unless it rebounds or recovers before that, or like with data, with information. Amen. Well, that's why I keep telling you guys, put God first, bro, for real. Like, actually. And it's not in a man. It's not in me. I don't think I have anything special. It's for everybody. So just put it first, man. Know what comes first. Everything falls into place. It's literally order of operations. You can't buy a long term if you don't save 10%. Save 10%. See what I'm saying? Put it first. The look back. So, dude, this is interesting because somebody did send me an AI summary of the watch list. And this is what I'm telling. I said this a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, you guys, I believe AI is powerful. And I think AI is a great tool. But I think a lot of people are going to get lost in the sauce. Because AI, it is good if you are a master. If you have authority and you master the system, it will be your servant. But there is a lot of people who are blending the lines and they are becoming the servant. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm saying this negatively. I'm saying this to educate. I want you to be wiser. I actually told this to my girlfriend because she does a lot with AI. And I made sure she had to understand this. Because she's talented. She has her thing. But I was letting her know, I'm like, listen, there is going to be a fine line where you are the one commanding the AI or it commands you. Okay? I'm being dead serious. Like I said, I'll tell this to my loved ones. I tell you what I tell my people. I'm not, so take it however you want. Let those with ears to hear. Well, you could talk to it. That's one thing. I don't talk to it. I don't know shit about me. But I use it. It's a servant. I use it. It works for me. But that's where you have to figure, there's going to be a point where you have to get it to explore things. Don't let it roadblock you with an idea. Don't let it be the one to give you the idea. You have to give him the ideas. That's the problem. Otherwise, and then it misses a lot. Like I said, in the next few years, I'm very excited because as more people become reliant on AI, there's going to be a lot more productivity, but then it's creating a opportunity. It's creating a window. And what the window is there's going to be a lot of people who are being commanded by it versus commanding it. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to miss a lot of things relying on AI. Not because the AI is bad. The AI is going to be good. But you got to know there's limitations. There's going to be a piece that I still think a lot of people are missing. And that's why, depending on what piece you have with the AI, you get different results. That's why, like, a real coder with AI, oh, it's disgusting. Me with AI, I can make it code, but not like the guy who's been coding for 15 years. You see what? There's a big gap. That's what I'm saying. Even with the stock shit, people don't realize there's a huge gap. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, because some of you put yesterday's video in the AI, and it gave you a decent summary. But are you ready for this? All of the AI summaries, they missed the look back option. It mentions the look back option, but it didn't really explain it to you. That was one of the most important things of yesterday's video. I didn't mention some of the Albemarle stuff, and there's certain little concepts that were very critical that it missed. And that's a good example of this gap that I'm talking about. Because think now, multiply it by millions. You're going to have millions of people parsing, going through data, going through studies, listening to things. And you're going to have at the end, the interpretations, they'll be similar, but then something is going to be very different. And that will be a critical piece. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not bad, but you have to command it. You see what I'm saying? Don't be lazy and let it make up for you being lazy. You need to do your work and let it work for you at the same time. See what I'm saying? You need to command it. Everything I'm telling you, even all these philos, you have authority. Y'all don't use your authority. You don't learn to be a command and what you're called to be. Well, come on, bro. I hate to tell you, it's the same thing with money. I've said that money is my servant. Money works for me. That's my servant. I don't serve money. Fuck, I don't care about money. I'll show you. So you've seen it. What, you gonna ban me? You gonna this, we'll do it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Money is a servant. It is not a master. So in a weird way, AI, nobody told you this about AI, but I think the same thing applies. Well, no, it could tell you other things, but there's a lot of people who don't know. I did it. I showed my girlfriend the test. So I don't want to, I'll make a video on it. I don't want to tell you guys yet because too many leeches are going to steal it. And I like the advantage. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. Only. Well, one day come see me in person. How about that? Bird on the low. The AI summary. See, I use AI with the Bible, but I've already read the Bible. So that's why sometimes AI says stuff about the Bible. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then sometimes it really helps me get a good context, and it helps me apply stuff that would have took me a long time to research. So that's why. That's with every topic. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be crazy. Will stream alerts ever reopen? When we're ready. At the right time it will. But I want you guys ready. And I hope you see why. I want owners in here. Listen, if you don't want to be an owner, you don't want to have a lot of things, you don't want to take care of your family, you don't want to live a peaceful life, get the fuck away from me. Very simple. Very, very simple. That's why I'm saying, though, that I don't want you guys gambling for a reason. I need to make sure you get wealth, keep it, and 10x it in good quality assets. We have to. So when we're ready, that's what I'm saying, bro. The whole keep asking me when to buy, keep focusing on when we need. I've already, look at the chat. I've already cleared this shit up. We're already on phase 2, bro. That's why I'm not banning y'all. I ain't banning y'all. I'm just asking you. We need to correct. I'll be straight up. That's it. We got to do it, because I'm telling you, the more we secure now, the more we keep and grow now. My goodness, the back end, bro. This is a good moment, but we can't squander it. Okay? There will be a time. There will be a different time for joy and other things, and not there. But now we must secure. Do you understand me? I hope you do. And if you think this is nonsense, it's funny you're wasting your time listening to a religious nut job like me. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't sit there and listen to the homeless guy who yells about Jesus on the corner. And if you thought this guy was batshit, you wouldn't sit there and listen to his whole speech. Okay? And I don't mean this negatively. I just simply, if you're not going to catch the ball when it's thrown your way, I'm just saying you should leave now. The diamonds. You are in your field of diamonds right now, Chad. And I would love to see all of you get it. And I know what it will create. And I've already seen it. And this is amazing. So, at the right time, bro, when we're all ready. And that's why, above all else, in good and bad, in bannings and not, just know I love you all, okay? For real, I mean that, genuinely. Because I want good. And I want to see good. And I look, maybe you don't like me for a year or two, but by year 5, year 10, amen. I will see the fruit. You will too. And that's what I'm saying. That's why, when we're all ready, that's why, man, all the don't buy high, all the, be careful with options. I'm not trying to limit any of you. I want you to be safe. And I want you to do the checks before engaging in the shit. And that's fine with me. But we have let our guard down. I've seen a lot of people do very well and then rack up debt. Very well, then rack up gambling. Very well. You see what I'm saying? We let our guard down. And that was a mistake. And that's okay. I don't like it. It was wrong. And we'll fix it. But this is how. So you see what I'm saying, baby? This is what I want. And at the right time, we'll get whatever we need, man. And there will be a good time. But this is now the time to save, grow, and own, and not give up things willingly that are worth it. That's why I don't like I love gambling, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Well, come on. I'm really good at it. But the problem is, like I'm saying, I don't want easy L's right now. Down the line, we might have room for easy L's. But now we don't. Because if that L could 10x in the future, I'm going to be pissed. And you will too. You need to secure your arc. Do not give up easy money. Avoid the easy mistakes. You know why? Because let me put it this way. Just like anybody you've seen, you run into a real problem, you come to me, I'm not going to blame you, dude. I never have. Ask anybody who likes me or not. And have I ever blamed anybody for fucking up when they genuinely came to me with a fuck up? I've always looked to the answer. I will tell you what was wrong. I might say you, but I never try to hold it above your head. So, you ain't got nothing to worry about except for the fact that you can't let your guard down. And if you're gonna you end up making a mistake, but this is like, dude, you need to secure right now. Because it's an easy one. Because what I'm trying to say is if you come back to me down the line, and I'm like, what? And we go back, just like you've seen me ask people the questions. You might tell me what happened. I'm gonna keep asking till I get to the source. And then if I find out that we took the loss because the easy one versus something hard, I don't like that. You see what I'm saying? I would rather you lose. I would rather you make a mistake to something worthy of being difficult rather than making a mistake to the easy shit. Then falling to the scammers, falling to the cons, falling to the easy, just the emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, make a mistake because it was the hardest event you've ever dealt with in your life. That's fine, but not because it was an easy one that we've been warned about and knew and we've seen our brothers fall into. You see what I'm saying? That right there. I want to avoid that. And that is what you should ask you. That is what I think you should put as a standard for yourself. You will face disappointment. You will fall short, even in the market. You're going to have a bad day. You might have a bad week, a bad year, a bad month. But fall to the hard. Don't fall to the easy. That's what I care about. Because if you do that, you're gonna go a lot more before you slip. And when you do slip, it's not going to be costly, and it's going to give you what you are working for. And you are putting energy and effort and investing your time and money. Let's make it worthy. And we can't fall to the easy ones. So that's what I'm saying, bro. The little gambling here, the little scam, the stuff you know about, the little pumping, you know it. It's the easy ones. Fall because it was the hardest event ever. Not because you made the mistake millions of others made before you. That I love. See what I'm saying? You tell them, bro, you say, I went all out at the hardest moment. The world was doing this. It was hard, bro, and I thought, that's fine. What do you mean? You saw the giant and you went to battle? My brother, whether you failed or not, you had the resources and the courage to act in the moment. You're going to learn something real from that or win. But you don't fall to the easy. That's it. That's all. I don't put me around people falling to easy. That's why. That's the standard here. I will not accept it. So, amen. Woo! I hope you feel me, Chad. It's so exciting. That's why I'm very excited. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for myself, damn it. Oh, yeah, we should do push-ups. Stand up. Bump, bump, bump. EU grants approval of Merck's Kaja Zemkli. I am going to let people learn the hard way. They already have. I'm just telling you. In a weird way, like, there is no honor in failing to the easy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you to all raise your standard. Make a mistake at the highest level, not at the lowest. I can't do that because you've already done it. You're not a beginner. You're not starting out. You see what I'm saying? At a different time in your life, it's better to practice and fail and do all that. But I'm saying, some of y'all, man, now you know the game. You know enough. Do not fall to the easy. Your competitor isn't easy. Your competitor is the hardest in the world. That's your weight class. Fight in your weight class. That's what I want all of you to do. Amen. Yeah, bro. MP Lemonade now. You guys notice we're still up since oil dropped. Now we've done like an hour not moving. but it is curling at the open. So yeah, either end of the day, we get the bounce, expiration. But look at it, man. Bonds are even back up. Might be a buyout, Verna. Oh, I know what you're talking about, like the chart. Yeah, don't fall for it. Be careful. Pepsi, Bibsy. Talk to your bro. No way, bro. Is that the bro who like struggled a little? That's awesome if it is. We build the future, baby. User reports problems at Google for 4,000 users as of 11/26. I don't know why oil dropped. I thought there'd be an OPEC headline, but there wasn't. Emergency call for a coal plant. Pray for you. Oh, be careful, yeah, man. Amen. Let's go, man. Do good work. You know that? I hope all of you know that. You get an opportunity to shine every day. And I know this sound like some bullshit. Tell you to work, no, but for real, the ripple effect, man. So do good, man, and shine. Shine wherever you are. Amen. Praise Jesus, bro. Will that explain your work email? Yeah, down detector, 4,000 reports. Man, a couple chips are moving, like Marvel, I think Broadcom. No, I'm tripping. Joby again, and then Pony. No, that was the one. Okay, high ticker, a lot of energy, nukes. Uranium. Yeah, my Google just went down. My YouTube's other page. It's weird. Can you guys hear me? My music is playing. All right. Okay, give me a sec. Let me put up MP. I'll be right back. Hold on. This is important.
About Bitcoin then. This is really Liberation Day. Why?
Yeah, this is a really important moment, and Trump has really demonstrated that he's the crypto president. He governed on he campaigned on a platform that he announced at the Libertarian Party convention of being pro-crypto, and he's doing what he said he was going to do. And this is an important day, not so much for what the federal government and the Treasury and the Congress has done, but what they haven't done, which is, back in the day, a lot of people, I remember back in 2011, Chuck Schumer was talking about banning crypto and banning Bitcoin entirely. And the fact that the first time that the Congress is dealing with this, they're actually passing positive legislation and not outlawing it is a fairly remarkable thing.
It's a good point, and it also is contrary to what some other countries have done on this front, like China.
Correct. I mean, it is a very American thing that there are certain technologies that we recognize do bad things. So the internet email is used for all sorts of crimes. Email can be used for terrorism, for tax evasion, for anything. But we don't let the government read our emails, even though maybe it could help solve some crimes. In the same way, crypto can be used for bad things. Crypto can be used for terrorism. It can be used for money laundering. But we don't limit the bad things because in a free society, we tend to think that the onus should be on the government to make its case that it should restrict things rather than the people making the case that they should be allowed to do something.
There have been some pretty remarkable projections on what the stablecoin industry, how large it could be by the end of the decade. Do you think it grows 10x from here?
Yeah, I don't know so much about where it could go from here because it's a really different market than crypto. Stablecoins in this bill, the Genius Act really cements this, have to be backed by the US dollar. So it's called a coin, so it sounds crypto-y. But it's not really a coin. It's not like Bitcoin, which is not backed by anything. So they're two very fundamentally different things, and they serve two different communities.
So how do you think the legitimacy then affects Bitcoin?
Well, I think in general, I mean, my gut is that people who buy Bitcoin buy it as a kind of hedge against inflation, and it's a different thing than people who buy. It's a different kind of impetus behind buying stablecoins.
What's your thinking around the outperformance of Ether over the last 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, there's more buyers than sellers.
Yeah.
Who knows why? I think there's just so much momentum around crypto generally.
That this is the new kid on the block?
Yeah, I think some of it is people see the prices lower. In nominal terms, the price is just lower, and so people just might think that they're getting in cheaper, which is not, necessarily the best way to think. It's not the best way to think about it.
Right. It is fascinating, though, how much that Ether has outpaced Bitcoin over the last, say, 90 days.
I wonder if you think what the competitive advantage is now that we have this legislation. How it changes the game.
The competitive advantage of the U.S. Yeah, so this is viewed now as a country where we tolerate financial innovation, and especially the Clarity Act, which is really reining in the SEC. President Trump, one of the things he said when he gave that speech to the Libertarian Party convention is that he didn't like what the SEC was doing, which was regulating by enforcement, and so he appointed a new chairman, Paul Atkins, and there's tons of people like Senator Lomas, who we call Senator Satoshi.
Right, renamed her.
Yeah, we've renamed. I think I renamed her, maybe.
Okay.
It's a thing. And President Trump, this is something that he said he was going to do. The crypto industry voted. There's, 65 million Americans who have touched crypto, and he's delivering on it. He appointed Paul Atkins to lead the SEC, and it's just night and day from.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? I mean, it's like saying what could go wrong in stocks. Things can go wrong in stocks. People are going to lose money. That's how a free society works. But we basically, the way the market system works is we trust that through this process of, we call it sometimes creative destruction, we get to a place where consumers and capital is allocated in the correct way, even though it sometimes is a little messy along the way.
Do you expect, how many stable coins do you think will get created?
I don't really understand, to be totally honest, the point of stable coins, if I'm just being honest. It seems basically just a way to make more efficient the existing payment networks like SWIFT and like ACH, which are these kind of sclerotic old institutions, but there's not a real need to have if they're all backed by the dollar,
right.
It seems to me there's not such a huge reason to have a plethora of them.
But that would be the thinking of a Walmart or an Amazon, is to just improve their own payment structure?
Yeah, and then at that point, it's almost like saying like how many gift cards are gonna, Starbucks has a gift card, Amazon has a gift card. If they're gonna call it the Amazon coin or the Amazon gift card, like I don't see that there's any deep difference between those two things.
Right, but could be a threat to Circle and its market dominance. Max, what are the other sort of regulations or changes that you expect from this SEC or from this Congress now that we do have a crypto-friendly president, administration, as you say? What else should we be watching?
I think the big thing is the central bank digital currency to look at. So that was stripped from the two bills that were passed. And it's something I feel very strongly about, which is that central banks should not be issuing digital currencies. They really give huge amounts of power to the federal government to be able to monitor. If you were to have Democrats have talked about having the post office run retail accounts. Basically, people would have retail accounts at the post office. They would be the bank. And that's very dangerous. We see what happens when institutions get politicized. You could have a president who would say, anyone who's pro-life or pro-choice, we're going to change their interest rate. We're going to change the rate that they get on their deposits. And so the central bank digital currency opens up all kinds of problems. And so, I think that a lot of people are going to be against this, both on the left and the right. And for sort of procedural reasons, it was taken from the bill. But the Congress, Speaker Johnson has said that he's going to attach it to the defense authorization bill, which makes me think that it'll get passed. But who knows in this Congress? But yeah, the central bank digital currency is a really dangerous thing.
All right, well, Max, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always good to have you, Max Raskin. And do not miss more on this conversation. CNBC has a first-on interview with Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev coming up on the exchange later on the passage of the Genius Act. Plus, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong will join Overtime at 4 p.m. That stock hitting new highs this morning. They are all celebrating and out ready to talk about it.
There's a buy on the news on Coin for sure today. Still ahead, does the resumption of U.S. chip sales to China present an opportunity for investors in Chinese tech? The K-Web is outperforming the NASDAQ this year. We'll talk about it after the break.
for battery cells, as it is a key component around energy, we're going to see likely increased cost. Most of graphite is coming from China, and in the US, around 75% of synthetic graphite imports, which is the type of graphite that is mostly used for batteries, is coming from China. So we expect a big impact for the battery industry.
When the news broke, I saw that Tesla shares fell significantly. They're now up higher in this session. But one of the things I was thinking about is for those US domestic battery manufacturers, I was at Panasonic in Kansas earlier this week. There are some US-based producers of graphite, aren't there?
Yeah, there are, and the domestic graphite production is increasing. Tesla, among many other companies, were lobbying against these tariffs in the early stages, claiming that the graphite quality or the graphite quantity was not at the stage that they wanted, at least at that stage. However, eventually these graphite tariffs are going to incentivize local production, but we do remain to see whether this graphite is going to be enough to meet demand. And of low cost in order to meet many cost targets that battery manufacturers and automakers have in the US.
Evelina, right now, what is the biggest headwind or factor for the EV battery supply chain? We focused on graphite, but there are many other things happening around the world right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a time where a lot of things are changing when it comes to policy that is impacting both EVs and batteries in the US. Right now, I think the challenge is going to be figuring out the supply chain and choosing suppliers in order to comply and try to qualify for many of the important tax credits, as now there are new restrictions around where many of these components can be sourced. So I think this is going to be top of mind for a lot of the players in the US because this push to source everything domestically and to manufacture everything domestically might come with a cost to consumers.
Evelina Stoicu of Bloomberg New Energy Finance, Bloomberg NEF. Great to have you on the program. Thank you very much. So that does it for this edition of Bloomberg Tech. What a week it's been, from policy to politics, AI to everything else in between. Don't forget to recap the show on the podcast. You know where to find it. It's on all the Bloomberg platforms as well as online on Apple, Spotify, and iHeart. Shep said it just a minute ago, but next week it's all eyes on Washington, D.C. Pay close attention and always do it here on Bloomberg Tech.
Shares of NVIDIA up about 5% since announcing that it does expect to be able to resume selling those H20 chips in China, a move that could add some fresh fuel for China's AI ambitions. For that, we'll turn to Deirdre Bosa today in today's Tech Check. Happy Friday, Dee.
Hey, happy Friday. Good morning, Carl. So the plus side for the U.S. of this development is that the momentum will still run on American rails. With the H20's return, NVIDIA, it remains the backbone of Chinese AI, not just through hardware, but through CUDA software too, which we talked about. It locks developers into NVIDIA's ecosystem. The downside, though, is that Chinese labs, they're getting very good at doing more with less. DeepSeek's original R1 and now the latest breakout challenger, Kimi K2, they have proved that models can be scaled and optimized on far less performant hardware. Now, despite the export ban, they've already been gaining ground, Chinese models. Take a look at the model rankings on elamarina.ai. Kimi 2, an open source model from Alibaba-backed startup Moonshot, it's in 5th place overall, jumping ahead of DeepSeek. The next non-Chinese open source model on the leaderboard, that's Mistral's, while Meta's Llama, which was once the gold standard in open source, it has fallen way down to spot number 34. Now, the hardware story may be shifting again. NVIDIA is preparing the B30. This is another export-compliant chip just for China, with shipments expected as early as this quarter. AMD is sampling a China-legal version of its MI300X. The net effect, guys, is that instead of starving China's AI push, the U.S. policy is creating a parallel hardware channel just trimmed for compliance. And really, that's exactly what policymakers like AI star David Sachs intended to do. But this also opens up a new, extremely competitive leg of the AI race where it's not about slowing anyone down.
Oh, Chad. My bad, bro. I had to take that call. We've had a lot. I've had a wild week, man. You know that? Praise God. But yeah, I've had a lot of random leaving during the day for a phone call. I haven't had to do that. I have ranch news for you. I don't know. Do you want the good news or the bad news first? That's literally how all of my conversations start. You know that? Every time I call people, that's what they do. That's it. Everybody I work with. So do you want the good news or the bad news first? Okay, so the bad news is we are still in limbo. Okay, the bad news is that we have not agreed. I have not accepted the lender terms. The seller is getting a little frustrated. We all are getting frustrated. So, but we're still in escrow, and yeah, but we're in a weird spot. So the deal definitely is still odd. But the good news, we are going to do another 10-day delay. So there's still a shot, but I said, listen, I was like, you could go. I said, show the property if you really insist. That's fine with me. Cause I said, I'm not going to do it. If this is weird, if I can't transfer the loan, not worth it. But I said, yeah, you could go take backup offers, do whatever you need, but just I need 10 more days. We need to figure this out, but I can't take it right now. I can't do that. So, yeah, we'll see. It's good news. I thought my idea yesterday, I was like, we're going to Indiana. So yeah, this says, what do you mean it reminds you of Trump with tariffs? What do you know? No. Trump is just a bad person and a liar. Nobody negotiates like that in real life. What do you mean? No, don't say he's a liar. That's why. No, nobody lied to me in this process. Yeah, it's not like, what do you mean? Just because he had a deadline and a date and an extension, and you're forgetting the fact that the brokerage isn't a liar. But that's what I'm gonna text him that now. Oh my God, I'll be like, why are y'all tacoing? I should have said that to him. I don't think they're liberals, but I should have hit a taco comment. I should have used it against him. You will fall on your own sword. That's what they said, but no. Oh, that's a good idea, bro. I don't, for real. When the moment come up, I'm dropping taco on him. Because it'll confuse them. They go like, what the fuck? They're like, I'm not racist. I'll be like, yeah, you are. You acting like Trump, you're racist. They're like, no, I'm not. Here, let me prove it and sell you my house for half off. Okay, fair enough. See? Be careful. Political ideology. Seller always chickens out. The lender always chickens out. I wish it was some of those geniuses. I don't think we're not good enough to be graced by the presence. Laco. JP Morgan. Sorry, I'm still texting him. Sorry, we're good though. There's more hope, but I at least have better options. My goodness. Woo! Fucking lending tips. In the middle of this negotiation, all these problems, he's still saying you can't raise a cow. This fucking guy, bro. I'm being dead in the middle of all of this. He's like, yeah, but like, you know you still can't milk a cow and you don't have the balls to kill it and eat it. I'm like, are you challenging me? I'm like, this has nothing to do. Get the fucking out. My goodness, bro. MP again. Dude, I'm so batshit confused right now. Because I can. Hollywood changed him, right? I want a cow, but he says he's a hater, but I don't know why the cow topic. I'm like, the cow is going to be, I don't even want a cow in Indiana. I thought it was going to be like a couple hours away. I could pet it. I want a cow I could pet. Man. But then he's like, but then I want steak. Like, I really think I could make the best steak in America. That's what I think we could fuck around and make the best steak in America. I'm serious, bro. But I guess I need doubt. I need the chip on my shoulder. They don't believe in me, bro. They don't believe in me. I have to prove them wrong. That's it. Game time. I hope you guys are ready. I'll be Elon. I'll start taking pre-orders. Shit. You guys know? Okay, no, okay. EV cow? No, okay. Too much AI? Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. A lab. I know. I'm gonna feed them good, bro. I'll feed them watch. I'll feed them. I'm not even gonna tell you the proprietary blend. I already have it. They don't feel me. They don't feel me, bro. That we're gonna explore a couple more options. At least have time. That's it. So we have to either make a decision, but we got 10 more days. It frees both of us, and I'm giving them a way out too. That gives me my way out with my money, and then yeah, we're good to go. But so we're gonna explore all that. We'll talk to the lenders and see. Just gotta wait. You hate to say it, but it's tough to kill a cow that you raise. No. I'm not going to kill it. Somebody else is. I agree with you. I'm going to close my eyes. Wait, why y'all acting? What did y'all do during Biden? Okay, thank you. I rest my case. Y'all watching me get banned every other month for what Donald Trump says every single day on live TV that I play. Oh, y'all just went whoop. Oh, that sucks, Josh. Oh, man, what? Oh, yeah. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to watch. I'll just out of sight, out of mind, brother. No, the deal is not settled. We have issues. You remember the first time your pig got picked up? You haven't been the same since? I mean, dude, listen, respectfully. I don't know if Dilly Dog is being serious or not. Like, a Dilly Dog? Should I take Dilly Dog? Are you serious, Dilly Dog? It sounds like a joke, Dilly Dog. But I don't know if I should take Dilly Dog seriously about never being this. Because I don't know. Some people are genuine about that. But then again, I don't plan on doing the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna feed it. I'm gonna feed it good. We got a goal in mind, a mission. But I ain't doing the dirty work. Dell. banks are SRPT dumping now. Whoa, getting worse. So they gave an update. They tried to like deny it earlier. Somebody died during a trial, but now, yo, it just took another 10% right now. SRPT investigating whether Elevids should stay on the market. Oh, wow. Because they stopped the trial, but I don't know if the drug was actually out. But that's kind of big. It's already down there a lot. I haven't looked at the option chain. But you are getting a development right now in real time. Yeah, the bad news was in the morning. We talked about it. Somebody died in the middle of the day. It happened like a month ago, and they said it wasn't the reason why they stopped the trial. And now they're saying they may take the drug off the market. So now here's the deal, or the FDA is, I don't know, because the other one was a trial. I don't know what drug they have on the market. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So the news today was a drug trial, but that news says taking a drug off the market. I don't know if they share a compound or what, but that could be different. You know what I'm saying? So let me verify that now. Sarepta. It doesn't give me the brand name. Elevist. Oh no, Elevids is branded, yeah. So that's out already. Pipeline events. Let me see the other one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's a new. Here's the deal. I got it. So the one in the morning was the one in the morning was a new drug. They were working on a drug trial. It still needs approval. And that's the one that had a patient die in it, okay? Here's the kicker. It uses the same AA VRH74 vector as Elevids, raising concerns about overall risk-benefit profile. So yeah, that's if regen any drug with that right there, that compound, or that vector, AAVRH74. So do you get it? They did a trial that caused the death, but then they have another drug that is already approved and being sold, and that has the same compound as the one that fucked up today. And then maybe other companies that have drugs with this vector, they could get clapped now too, because this is coming from the FDA now. And then you go, oh, or regen could be Merck. You also got a Merck approval as well. Yeah, so I don't know. They're all kind of moving there. But yeah, you're getting another update on the Merck one too. That's crazy. That's actually very rare. This is actually like a wild... I don't think we need to call them. Maybe we call the FDA, but you don't really see this too often. So that means a drug got approved by the FDA a while ago. I could probably get you the date when they approved it. Elevits. Damn, they have the full patent on it too. I don't have the date when they approved it. They partnered with Roche on it and a couple of others, but so it was, yeah, so Roche might be affected too, actually. The ADR hasn't moved. But yeah, so they have a drug that got approved years ago, it seems like, or at least sometime prior, but then that compound was involved in the one with the death. So, I think whatever they're working, it doesn't have a lot in it. But that's you don't see that too often. So that would be like a new drug killing somebody, but then it has like the same active ingredient as one that's been approved. So, very odd. I didn't make a play on Sarepta. I don't know enough. That's why I went back and got you all these headlines. They're not that expensive, but remember, it's a $10 stock now, $15. So if it goes to 0, your max gain is 1,500. How do they isolate? Man, I ain't the fucking doctor. I just know how to read really good. And I understand a little about a lot. Welcome to the stock market. I don't know how they fucking isolate it. What do I look like, Heisenberg? You think I know the fucking isolation of the compound? Where my doctor's at? Get a long term. Woo! Yeah, man, do I look like a genius? Obviously not. Did you not see yesterday? We have a lot of work to do. Someone died on the trial. That was this morning. We talked about this in the AM. This was one of the ones. I only had a couple on my list today, but I said watch this. So somebody died during a trial. Stock got clapped. Then they gave an update about like the date of which it happened, and they said it wasn't the reason why they stopped the trial. And then about 3 to 5 minutes ago, the FDA is like, yo, we might take their other drug off the market, the one that they have that's already approved, because it has the same vector or compound pretty much. Compound's not the right word. I'm just using that to convey my message for people who I don't really understand it as much. But it's the same ingredient as the other drug, and now the FDA is talking about removing that. So the death was already bad, and now it just got a little worse, or it could get worse if they take away one of their only approved drugs. Alright, I'm buying one with a little bit of time. I don't like cheap options though. You guys know that. But it might go back down to 14 or 13-ish. But then you need time, not today. The ones today you could get close to the money for cheap. But if the FDA says the Elevis is fucked, they're fucked. That's what I just thought. I'm like, wait a minute. But then if not, then it's just gonna bounce and then you're gonna lose. I don't care who loves it. All that matters, like I'm telling you, if you need time though, and I don't know how much time, but if you get if the FDA takes off the other drug, that's gonna cost them. It's gonna be bad. But then if the FDA is like, it's not a safety profile risk or whatever, then it's just gonna bounce. You'll lose on every put. I don't know if next week would be good, but if we get an update by then. Do you see the ways you could lose? You only win if FDA removes it. If you buy a put and they remove the other one, you win. If not, then if you wrong on time or wrong on action, then there you go. Hold on, LT's texting me. reputable tax associates who could handle crypto salary in search of one. The best you could do is call in your area and instruct them, like I've instructed everybody, to ask them, tell them exactly what you just said to me, and see if they could handle it. And then from there, if they're a good person, they're gonna ask you to send over your stuff, and then they will give you a quote. If they quote you before seeing your info, I would just go to the next guy. And then from there, you could see, and then go with the guy who, tell him you want a tax strategy. And if he doesn't give you any ideas, maybe call another guy. If he starts giving you ideas and he says he's familiar, then you're meeting the criteria. Joby flying taxi finally nears takeoff with an unlikely boost from Toyota. Okay, SPY's getting a little red. Yeah, literally 0.02, NASDAQ back to break even. Remember, when oil dropped, we had that little run up, but you burned like an hour almost, and here we are. Yeah, low ticker picking up more. Commission, no, that's not it. CNC got hit off the Humana shit today too. So the little Medicare thing, they got hit too. They had bad earnings and that. This could be a good pickup though. Like low key now, bro. You're getting this thing at 2015 prices. But again, Centene, I'll get you the metrics once this dip stops. Yeah, dude, I saw that. What was the LA explosion thing? Trump seeks minimum 15-20% on all EU goods. So again, what's gonna happen, guys? Remember, we already had this talk. We were talking about all the important stuff coming out over the weekend. So I think that's kind of old, but like I think they're kind of reporting it backdated, but you're getting a little reaction there. But then now I think that could set the stage for the weekend. Exactly. It'll probably settle at 10% on Sunday. Or it gets worse on Sunday. You see, or Saturday. Literally, we just had this conversation. So you're getting an hour, 2 hours later, we got a little bit of movement here at the low. Now you're getting a Financial Times headline, 15-20% minimum tariffs on goods in EU. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, nothing. I mean, we'll see. You're literally break even on the NASDAQ. Russell got a little better. Dow is kind of the dog today. Not been as good. But you still get a couple random poppers here and there, but a lot of activity on the low. And then let's see oil. Did it come back up? No. And then that pop was from oil. I remember I like oil going down. I think oil going down now is beautiful. You're going to want that. I haven't looked at big tech as much. Apple's up, and every other day went down. Bibsy. Your brother says, hi, what up, baby? Tell him good work. Let's go. Tell him we need a pilot in the cult, bro. So he better pass. In that long term. Habibi. Oh shit, your buddy works there? Impossible logistics van that rolls with SWAT, and they were doing inventory on C4 and an accident happened? Oh, no way. Because, dude, I looked into that and I couldn't, dude, this was like maybe an hour ago now, 30 minutes ago. But yeah, 3 sheriffs died in LA, like something blew up. But no one knew it. I didn't have any info. That's sad, yeah. It's terrible. Sorry, LT. It keeps giving me random real estate and cow updates. I'm so confused. Yeah, it is. It's the same Financial Times thing. Like, we could get a reaction, but you should already be prepared now. Think about this getting worse or getting walked back, and then just essentially leading into the weekend. So whatever, that's what I'm saying. I think the weekend news is going to be more important now for sure. Unless this makes a sizable reaction to be the news and then it doesn't get updated. But I'm gonna go for a guess and say it will be. U.S. admin is now looking at a reciprocal rate that exceeds 10%. Even if a deal is reached. Yeah, so that's the headline. You're gonna settle at 1% on Sunday, or whatever, or maybe they take it into next week. But that's the headline. That's the next one. So it was a 1-2 punch. The first headline was Trump pushes for 15-20% minimum tariff on all EU goods, and now they're saying that the U.S. is looking for a reciprocal rate above 10, even if the country has a deal. So they're saying Trump is going to tariff everybody no matter what. Tariffs in escrow. Weed senators emit proposal blocking all rescheduling. Womp, womp, womp. Alrighty, 9:30. Bop, bop, bop. Stand up. When I long term, you long term. Just like that. Hey, DJ, 10%. Alright. Get up, baby. Move around. Your body desires it, craves it, like electrolytes. Oh, what happened? No propaganda? Also rejects reducing 25% tariffs on EU cars, says diplomats. Yeah, so listen right now. This is all bad news. You're going to get good news on the weekend. Or Trump is... That's a lie! I didn't say that. No. The fake news. I didn't say that. What we're actually doing is we're going to make good deals and honor them. I look forward to 5% if they're willing to negotiate. So, yeah. Barron loaded puts. No, he didn't. You know, I've said this from the beginning of the year, so you're really, really late with your hatred. Because in the beginning of the year, man, there's been enough evidence objectively live before everybody's eyes. The reality is that it is the news agencies that are probably buying puts and that are misleading a lot of people and have profited off of it. And I've showed a countless amount of examples of fake headlines and the agencies that reported them prior. So, although I believe Barron has done other things, I don't think that's fair to say for a little guy, even though he's an adult. But then again, Hunter Biden was like 50 years old. But that's another topic too. But like I'm saying, that's just a little disingenuous. And you know, he's a younger man too, and I wouldn't put that on him because I don't think that he did that. And I would blame the quiet people who hide in the shadows of Reuters. And you don't know their names, and they probably have more of a need for quick money rather than Barron Trump or the Trump organization. So, you know, just thought I'd correct that there. I hope you don't continue with those because I don't get mad by it, but you do look foolish when you say that. And it seems as if you are protecting the people who are actually committing the fraud, which is some of these agencies. But hey, to each his own, brother. To each his own. To each his own. So do your push-ups. I'm going to go pee too. So I will BRB.
Getting involved in it, and that's why the float is expected to grow from, call it, roughly 250 billion to trillions of dollars.
We're also going to have the stablecoin legislation, which I think could create at least $2 trillion in demand for Treasury bills.
So these are not securities, and it's the banking regulators who are going to be looking after them. And I think that's appropriate because of the role that stablecoins play, and I think will play in the future.
Under the Biden regime, it was really mostly just policy through prosecution. These folks were victims of overregulation. When we started, devising a plan of how we would solve this problem, we kind of looked at it in 3 phases. We said we're going to have a demolition phase, getting rid of the overregulation.
Did he just say the Treasury is going to hold all the stablecoins? So the banking regulators are going to possess all of these coins? If that's what he said, someone double check that. Because I got 10 for you then. Holy fuck. Okay, let me go pee.
Political momentum, and
That's
that
crazy.
is translating into a new milestone for the crypto industry, which is now worth more than $4 trillion. To give us some much-needed context from within the industry, let's bring in Rebecca Reddick. She is Chief Legal Officer at Jito Labs, which is building infrastructure for the Solana blockchain. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. I think about Crypto Week and how it was a declaration, a mission statement from Congress that the U.S. is now serious about creating policy and setting rules for the road for the industry. Yet, the week started off with a procedural vote that failed because a handful of Republicans rebelled. Things are back on track once again, but I'm curious to hear from you what that tension signals.
I think the tension really was, as you said, a bit of a procedural foot fault and maybe some political maneuvering. But I think more importantly, as you noted, this was Crypto Week. It is a historic watershed moment, even to just have something called Crypto Week in DC. It is being featured in every financial and other type of news outlet. And about a year ago, as we heard from Bo Hines, the industry was in a much different position. There was a lot of regulation by enforcement, and there was a lot of tension between DC and the industry. And now to see historic legislation in the Genius Act, which was the stablecoin bill that passed yesterday by an unprecedented margin of 307 members of the House, 102 Democrats voted in favor of the bill, and is going to be on the president's desk to sign in 2 hours, is, I think, really important and a good signal that the U.S. economy is really keeping up with our digital world.
How important is it to you and other industry participants that this legislation is bipartisan, or does that not matter as long as it gets done?
So I think getting done was the most important part, but I think seeing such strong bipartisan support, both for the Genius Act, which is the stablecoin bill, and for the Clarity Act, which is coming out of the House and going to the Senate, means that there is a much broader recognition from the country that crypto is an important part of how our economy is going to continue
I'm not
to
a
build
genius,
and grow.
so that's why I don't know, but if this whole plan is every company's stablecoin gets held at the Treasury and then it's backed by banking regulators, holy fuck. Dude, this is that gold theory I told you the other day. Fuck a Treasury note, they're just gonna use stablecoins. That's terrible. That's actually mind-blowing. Because I was like, man, I was like, I don't know if Donald Trump would be ballsy enough to try to bring back the Treasury note. None of you guys know what a Treasury note is unless you watch the Watchlist, if you don't know history. So, but we had Treasury notes. Right now, you have a Federal Reserve note. You know that? You know your dollar bill, your $100? That's a Federal Reserve note. But there was at one time, before 1930, I want to say, 1930, you had Treasury notes and greenbacks is another name. You have some people call dollars greenbacks today, but it actually has a historical meaning going back to prior to a dollar bill, there was a Treasury note. So, yeah, but it's usually where the Treasury issues a currency. And then, yeah, it's like silver. It was backed by silver at one point, too. Yep. And that's crazy, though, because long story short, if the stable coins are issued and owned by the Treasury, it's just a digital Treasury note. It's crazy. This is wild. So like I told you, bro, if that goal, all you need left is finding a bunch of gold. Yo! Dog, that's the only thing missing now. Now, I think we're reaching on the stable coin, but let's assume the stable coin can act as a Treasury note, right? Let's assume. I'm not assuming it. I don't think that is it 100%, but let's assume. If that is the case, all we need to do is find a bunch of gold. That's it. No, if we find a bunch of gold, that's it. So, I don't know. Just be on the lookout for that one at any time between now and when you die. If they find $20 trillion of gold one day. SLDB is up. Oh, that's a good idea. And then Apple's ripping now. Actually, a decent pop on Apple. And SPY from the bottom. But now you got Mag 7, one of them helping. No, but I think it's the reverse. My whole life, everybody has told me that we have less gold or we don't have gold, right? Come on. Your whole life, everybody has told you to doubt if there is gold in Fort Knox. Hence why Trump even made a spectacle of it about auditing it. Yes or no? True or false? Most of us have been socialized our whole entire lives. You have more likely doubted the existence of a gold reserve rather than anything else. Because listen to what I'm about to say. My tin is there's way more than we think. That would be the only thing where I'd be like, all right, maybe Joe Biden and Donald Trump weren't that dumb because we did have the money. No, bro, for real. Think about it. I don't think, and the crowd is usually wrong, they say, but I don't think anybody's really expected that we have way more gold than we have stipulated. And I don't know. Maybe that is a possibility. I think this is hilarious, to be honest with you. I think it's the funniest shit ever. Making all countries think we're broke. I mean, that would be a great power move if I knew a power move. I'm just... It's like that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. It kind of makes more sense than not. I love this. Holy fuck. Probably would be saved as the last card. But like I'm saying, I mean, we're just having fun. We're guessing. I told you this theory, though, a week ago or so. Because we talked about it in relation to a few things. And I was like, you know, the real thing was the treasury assets. And I found 3 trillion. And then we know there's 7 trillion total of seized assets. And we found, and you could find it. You could know exactly where it is. So that brought up this discussion of having more money than we think. And then it led into gold. And then we talked about the, you know, back in the day, you know, at other times with the treasury notes. So it's a fun history lesson above all else. But now it's like, well, the stablecoin thing kind of seems like a pseudo treasury note. And then, yeah, just talking about maybe there is more gold. But I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if I believe it. But like I'm saying, most of my life, I've more so believed we have less gold. But, you know, I didn't know we had $7 trillion seized. And it's been there the whole time. So, yeah. Yeah, no, Japan, we're sending you bond interest payments in dollar general stablecoins, yes. And they'll do it. Because that's the theory of modern monetary theory. As long as they accept it, that's fine. And then guess what? Now these countries, what do they own? They own U.S. stocks. So if it'll give them their interest payment and they value it, and it's backed by whatever they wanted anyways, they'll do it. If they won't do it, I know who will. The Swiss. They own more stocks than most of us. It's kind of crazy. If it's backed and held by the Treasury. Oh, man, bro. What a wild world. Let's see. We'll see if it moves slow or fast. Yeah, that's crazy that the average car payment is $750. It's slowed down, though, a little bit. It hit $700 in, like, 2023. And I was blown away. Because back in my day, bro, a $750 a month car payment was a really nice car. Like, pre-2019, $750 a month got you a nice car. A really nice car. Like, I'm talking S-Class, M3... M, AMG, $700, $1,000 a month, bro. You were getting a dope whip. Like, even, I think, yeah, they had 911 leases at one point for $7, 700, 800. It was like 800 something. Brand new. Now you're telling me the average payment is 700? Oh, man. Your house payment is still low if you got a low mortgage. What do you mean? That's the caveat, but yeah, it's crazy. But then again, like I said, in a weird way, the price of a lot of unnecessary things keeps climbing. But then housing prices, you know, oddly enough, they've been more stable. They've been less stable in 5 years, but more stable in 3 years. if that makes any sense. Apple again. Do you shop? I'll use escrow, but I have a couple of people. So I go to my guys and then I'll see whoever they have. CNBC on. It stopped moving, but again, it was at 14 bucks in the morning. That's why I was like, all right, I'll get one really small one. But that one is just like a pure gamble, just on FDA date or whenever they give a response.
But different died from these liver issues, raising concerns about the safety of these treatments. And so the company is telling me in a statement that the FDA was aware of this event, this third death, when we discussed the black box warning with the FDA. So basically they're saying that the FDA was already aware of this. They knew it was a risk, and therefore they don't see a risk that this drug will come off the market. But again, we have this from Bloomberg, that the FDA commissioner directly saying that they are indeed taking a look at this.
And then Amazon's going up
back
now
over
too.
to you, Frank.
Angelica Peoples looking at Sarepta shares pulling back just about 26%, I believe. Thank you very much for that. All right, time now to get some of our calls of the day. Why don't we start off with Eli Lilly, added to a catalyst-driven idea list at Morgan Stanley. Kevin, you own this one. Shares up just about 1%
All right, watch.
now.
Well, I'll keep this
Well,
on.
the catalyst, Frank, is if they can deliver an oral drug.
And then let's
I
get ready
believe
for
that they
Philo.
will. This Orpho would be a game changer, 100%. If their orals are as effective or almost as effective as the injectables, then this is a catalyst, and I couldn't agree more with the call.
All right, moving on. Materion upgraded to overweight at KeyBank. Jenny, you own this one.
Yeah, here's one that we never ever talk about, and this is in our discipline growth strategy. So what they do is they make really high performance engineered materials for tech, automotive, consumer electronics, aerospace, and it's mostly based on beryllium. They actually have 50% of the world's beryllium production, and this is an expensive, very technical, really cool material that can withstand huge temperature changes. So it's in things like the James Webb Space Telescope. Stock's down 5% year to date, but it's up a lot before that, so which is why we continue to hold it. It trades at 16 times earnings. It has double-digit growth for the foreseeable future. Again, it's down 6% this year, but that's largely because of a slowdown in auto and tech demand, and we expect that to rebound next year. So interesting, unique company. It's small. It's a $1.8 billion market cap, so if you're going to buy it, put a limit on it because things move quickly.
I'm sorry, what stock were you talking about?
Materion?
I'm only
Do you want me to say it again so you can remember? Materion.
We got to move on, guys. Going to D.C., we have our Megan Cassella in Washington with some more news on this potential tariff that could be placed on the EU. Megan.
Hey, Frank, that's right. The Financial Times is now reporting that President Trump has been pushing for a minimum tariff on all goods coming in from the EU of between 15 and 20%. They say that's according to 3 people who have been briefed on the talks. The FT is also reporting that those people familiar with the negotiations say President Trump is also not willing to lower those sectoral tariffs that are currently in place on all cars and car parts at 25%. The EU was pushing for those to be lowered as part of this deal. They say President Trump does not have much appetite for that. That's according to the Financial Times, Frank, and it does come after the EU's lead trade negotiator was just in Washington for a few days of meetings. We know he was meeting with the Commerce Secretary, the U.S. Trade Representative, as well as Kevin Hassett, the White House Economic Advisor. And in trying to run this out, Frank, I was told, one, that the president certainly does not have a lot of appetite for these lowering car tariffs, so I would expect those to remain in place as part of any deal. And then on the 15 to 20% piece, overall, that fits with everything we've been hearing from the president so far. If you think about the deals we know about, 20% tariffs remaining in place on Vietnam, 19% on Indonesia. Those are the ones we have so far. So I would expect that any country or trading partner that makes a deal we already knew was looking at a minimum 10% tariff. Now the president saying to the EU it'll be 15 or 20%, according to the Financial Times. Frank, the last thing I'll say is the last time we heard from the president himself on the EU was just Wednesday night of this week when he said, quote, we could possibly still make a deal with the EU, but of course that still means tariffs are likely to stay in place. Frank?
Yeah, we're seeing the investor reaction to that possibility of 15 to 20%. Markets moving lower on that report. Our Megan Casella live in D.C. Megan, great to see you. The earnings setup on halftime is coming up next. We'll be right back after this break.
Oh, man. Glorious, you guys. Absolutely glorious. You know that? Glorious. So, I love you. I love you. I love you. You know, when I think about it, I think I'm like Buddy the Elf of the stock market. You know? And I enjoy it. So I hope you guys smile. And I hope you enjoy it, okay? And the best way to spread Christmas cheer is sing loud for all to hear, okay? So amen and praise God. We're happy. We're singing. Yeah, a lot of things. You have Amazon, Apple, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America all popping. And then you have Take-Two and the Asmill Flushing. So I don't have time to click them all. And I'm moving over to Philo, but that's kind of what's happening. And I guess Apple already went. Oh, Baba went the other way, see? And I'm on the wrong chat. Yeah. Oh, so sad. That could be a late reaction to this. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. I love it, man. Good. Smile every day, bro. Every day. I don't know, and just appreciate life, bro. You know that? Because some of y'all ain't going. You think you gonna wish you could go back, but then you don't want to, you know. But you're gonna look at this moment, all you college kids, all you college kids, bro. I don't think you get it yet, bro. You gonna look back in life right now, bro. You were in college. You still have zero responsibility, okay? You are a grown-ass adult, and you've been pissing and shitting all over this world, and you still have zero responsibility in college, which is good. Enjoy it, is what I'm trying to tell you, while it still can. And if you feel like you could handle that zero responsibility easily, then go get your real estate license at the same time, and get a long-term portfolio at the same time while doing it all. If that's too easy for you, okay? But other than that, you enjoy it every day. Bro, until the day you wake up with heartburn, you guys should be loving it. You know what I'm saying, bro? You ain't even got heartburn. Like, why the fuck are you, like, not smart? How are you still getting bothered by the internet? All right, but that being, I know it's halted on the candle. They didn't even give me time. They halted it before I got to my second sentence. But we gotta go to Philo now, baby. So I'll see you there, man. Enjoy everything. Enjoy life. Be blessed. You're blessed. And God bless you all, man. Thank you for your time this week if I don't see you. And if I do see you, I look forward to it. But we gotta go to Philo now. You don't have to get a membership, but you can if you want to be in the chat. But other than that, enjoy life and be blessed, all right? And you are a child of the light. I don't care what you say. I heard you. You're my brother. Amen.